coming up in this episode. And then it just goes, and I was like, we fucking broke a tank. Gun just fell out.
You've lived some life, mate, so far.
I've done a lot.
Right, I'm going to have to start stealing sales off people.
Stealing sales.
Yeah. Like, it's been quiet all weekend. He's like, you probably have no dramas. Like, he left about 7, 8 o'clock. It's 20 minutes after he's left. Bang, 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 Dad's having a heart attack.
And someone come over to the high chair and they were like, there's a condom in the pool.
No fucking way.
I was like fucking the Liam Neeson of the racetrack, mate. Like checking under their vehicles and like people are like, what's happening? Is there a bomb? Or
Insurance companies like to find loopholes, don't they, to get out of paying out. And I'm just intrigued to know what that was like on the other side.
There was a particular case. I think mentally I just went, this is not for me. This is fucking rank.
like he would know as soon as he put a quid in and it started flashing. He'd be like, oh, it's ready to go.
Yeah.
Hey, mate, watch the doors. We've got to be out of here quick.
Yeah, it's a very interesting job, that. And I feel like obviously it gets a bad rap.
Go.
3.
Don't know if I like
2,
it. Just saying.
1.
All right, we're back. More jobs. You guys loved the first jobs episode. We love doing the jobs episode. And we've got about 9 episodes of jobs to do until we get through Dan's jobs. So we're back once again to talk more jobs. And I gave the first jobs a listen to. Great episode. Absolutely loved it. And but it made me think, like, you know, what didn't I go into personally on my jobs? And there's a few funny stories. I alluded to the time I was a drugs mule, which I will tell today. And I thought I'd go into my lifeguarding days. But yeah, guys, we'll start with jobs that we've had. Should we start with Lozzie?
Go on then.
Lozzie.
Yeah. I think I spoke briefly about my time. It was about the trainee manager at Hughes.
Yes, yeah.
Which I won't name, but I know his name off the top of my head because he's a cunt.
Yeah.
You.
Yeah, one of the Hughes. Yeah, that was. I enjoyed it
Yeah.
because of the people that were there,
Mm-hmm.
the majority of people. But the actual job, just nah.
No.
I'm just not very good at selling shit.
Yeah.
And
Not a born salesman.
I found like even stuff that I've
What do you
got
do
in-
now, sorry?
I'm meant to be. Well, I'm listed as a sales manager, but I'm really not.
Yeah.
Like that's just not what I'm good at.
Yeah.
Even stuff.
Play to your strengths, mate.
Yeah.
That's it. And I was having to sell stuff like washing machines, and I didn't know how they worked.
No one does, mate.
Oh, yeah.
No one does.
As I said, like talking to like someone, what sort of spin cycles have got on it? I was like, one that goes round, really.
Yeah.
Washes your clothes
It
after
washes your
about 45
clothes.
minutes.
Circular.
Yeah.
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 It's not doing a fucking Rubik's Cube job, mate. It's just spinning round. Do you know what I mean? You set
Splashing a
it
bit of water in there. and then
45
you're away.
minutes, put on wash, and you're done.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I say, we did have like really good times, like some good laughs and that there. But the actual job, but the thing is, they all set you targets.
Yeah.
So the thing that was the worst was when the kind of like dog eat dog shit come in.
Right.
It's like, you've got this target and you've got this target, and now you're like, right, I'm going to start stealing sales off people.
Stealing sales.
Yeah, so like a customer would come in,
Backstabbing
and there
Hughes.
were 2 prominent salesmen. Right,
Were you one of them?
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Right, there's 2 prominent salesmen in the shop that I worked at, and they would approach the customer first. If they got knocked back, if the customer said, like, basically just like, leave me alone, I'll like come and get you if I need you, they'd back off.
Yeah.
But then, if I went up to a customer and I got the same response, the gentleman's agreement is that if they need anything, you'd be the one to go and talk to them.
Yeah.
But these cunts, right, they
Oh,
get
right.
rejected themselves and watch other people get rejected, and then they just go up to the people after, like, I've just spoken to them. So, like, oh, you sure you don't need anything? Like,
Yeah.
help? Like, that's
Slimy.
how. That's it. And you'd always get the same salesman on the same level. It'd always be the same order because
Yeah.
you'd literally just have a hierarchy of like fucking each other over. to get more sales. But the managers don't give a fuck as long as the money's going through the till. It's like there's not an issue. The moment that the numbers start to drop, it's like, you're not hitting your targets. It's like, well, have you seen the top 2 salesmen? How well they're doing?
Yeah, because
How
they've
much
robbed
they've
everything from you.
overachieved.
Yeah,
Ultimately, they're stealing sales off people.
that's fucking mad.
But it's you get some salesmen who just promise the earth and don't deliver.
Yeah,
Get some who are actually good and can sell a product.
yeah.
And you get salesmen like me can't fucking sell a product and just hope someone comes in and going, yeah, I'll have that one.
And then you're like, that's
It's
my
like,
sales
I
tactics.
can
That.
do that for you, son.
Yeah,
But yeah, most of the time it's just like me just babbling on about random shit.
yeah.
And some, like I said, the white goods, I had no idea what the fuck I was doing with them. No idea, like the cookers, the fucking
The white goods.
yeah, they're like the
Yeah.
Was it like a shop that you worked in? Where
Yeah.
people come in? Yeah.
yeah. There you go. There's
Oh,
like,
Yeah, white goods is like your
washing
Like
machine,
kitchen
your washing
stuff.
machine.
yeah. They're just
Right,
they call it white
appliances
goods.
and-
Yeah,
oh, right.
Yeah.
That's why
In
not.
the
Not,
trade.
not cocaine, mate.
In the trade.
I'd have been better at that.
Yeah.
Got your Colombian.
I can't,
Spanish.
like, as if there's that kind. I didn't
El
realise.
That can't still be going.
Yeah, they're still going. I don't know how many.
Yeah.
They
It
have
looks
closed.
very
They've closed a lot of like,
80s and 90s.
shops.
It's
that-
like
yeah.
Rombelos.
Is that even an England player?
Nah, mate, they're just generic photos. Isn't it?
Yeah.
Can play for the licenses.
Just for the.
I would have had
listeners.
Mark Hughes on there.
No. Fucking, I can't believe that that's like the environment that they clearly encourage. Do you know what I mean?
Mate,
To
like, if
fuck
you
each
ask-
other over.
If you ask any of them, it's not the environment they encourage. But when you work there,
yeah.
that is the environment.
When you pull back the curtain.
Only-
As a
only-
boss, though, you just think, I don't care what you can't get up to, just get
Yeah.
the sale. That's,
Yeah.
As a boss, that's what you just let it,
Yeah.
if someone's,
You're like,
fucking stealing
Jerry.
sales, the boss ain't bothered, is he? He's like, I don't
Yeah.
care. What,
Oh, yeah, of course.
He's like, I don't care what happens, but it's the managers, isn't it, who are like, who don't realise what's going on, and then
Yeah.
they're like,
Because it starts to create a culture of like the salesman, like the top salesman, will be like the ones who then start to not do. Like we had a rota of like jobs that you'd do, like clean the car park, clean the toilets,
Yeah,
whatever.
it'd just be like,
Oh, the top
The
salesman.
salesman
Oh,
then
they
would be
didn't have
like,
to do
"Fuck,
it."
I ain't
Yeah.
doing that because
Yeah.
I'm earning this like company the most money, so I'm not
Yeah.
doing, I'm not cleaning
Yeah.
the toilets."
Was it commission based?
Yeah, I was going to say that. Is it?
Yeah,
The only positive from that, from a customer point of view, like, you ever get to PC World? Fucking hell.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
so hard to, like,
Yeah.
and they're like, sometimes you get them and they're just,
Yeah.
this,
And then I'll wander off and-
they are wanderers, aren't
Mate,
Yeah, they
they?
do
because
wander.
they,
Yeah,
like
mate.
they need a,
I was
whatever
stood
that
there
is, then they
fucking
just
ages.
sprinkle of that. To like, you
Yeah.
go to them and I don't know, like,
They always have to
I
check
gotta
out
check-
the back.
yeah.
They always take
and
half an hour.
They have like their departments. Like I wanted to get as a PC monitor, and so I went to this guy who was literally stood the next row along.
He was the printer guy.
He was just like,
Yeah.
"Oh, that's not my department." I was like, "Right, first of all, you work in Curry, so you work for this shop, but literally you're here. The monitor I want is there. I can literally reach out to the cupboard that it's in, and it's like, I ain't got the key for that. It's not my department. Sorry."
They always
It's
have to
like-
go and get the key as well. They have to go and get the key. They have to go and check the stock.
Yeah, and then
They
they
need to
want to
get
sell
some
you
kind of
insurance
Argos
and all
system.
sorts of shit.
I've been there many times getting laptops, and like the only
You need to stop breaking them, mate.
I got one. We have to have them for our printers. So we've got like what fucking. We've
printers.
probably got from there 15 laptops from there.
Yeah.
And you go back and it's usually the same store that like I just want a decent one that will like no bells and whistles. It literally
Yeah, it
goes
just needs to do the
printer. So
job.
you're like,
Yeah.
And then you go out and they're like, yeah, I'll go and check that one. And then they go at the back and okay, it's not in stock. You're like, right, well, what about the other one? Okay, fucking go and check. And then and you're there for like an hour
Yeah.
waiting. It's like you've been through about 4 times.
Yeah.
I had one guy come out. He's a legend, like a bit old school, but he'd gone out the back. He'd made a list of all the stuff that's available.
See, that makes sense. That's
Off his own
efficient.
back,
Yeah.
right all day, and he was like, right, yep.
Then he ain't got to go back.
Did it all there, mate. Legend.
Yeah.
I was like, this guy.
He needs to be in charge of training the staff.
Yeah, he does. I can't remember his name. But a legend. But usually, that's 9
it's a
times out of
fucking
10.
nightmare, isn't
They're
it?
fucking shit.
Yeah.
the one thing I will say about Hughes is they tend to try and get people who have some knowledge of the products.
Yeah.
Whereas if like you go into a PC world, it's like, oh yeah,
Yeah, mate. None of them have a fucking
what's-
Yeah,
clue.
what-
which is
what's-
strange, especially as Curry's like USP is we let our staff take the stuff home to learn about. They had an advert all about like how their staff takes the equipment home to learn it, so that when it comes to selling you it, they know it inside out. It's bollocks.
Total bullshit.
What
Yeah.
I do like,
how many washing machines can you take on? None.
I do like going into Curry's and PC World though, and just having a little.
Mate,
Oh mate, it's
Just
great
having
for a
a wonder.
browse. Oh mate,
Oh mate, because
100%.
they've got, you know, you can go and put on some Dre beats, listen to a bit of fucking, you know.
I do like a mood.
and you can stick the music on the big subwoofers.
That's what I mean. You can start playing some Jamie
Yeah.
on the subwoofers.
I like
and then,
looking
you know,
at the new
next thing you know,
fridges.
you're looking at fridges.
New fridges.
Yeah, new
Big-
fridges.
You see like the
and
20 grand
yeah.
TVs, and you start looking at it as if
Coffee
like, to tell everyone
machines.
else you're going to buy it, but of course you're not.
Yeah,
You're
coffee
like-
machines. You know, having a little look.
Yeah.
Cake mixers. Everything.
Yeah,
and then and when you go to
toasters.
the TV area,
Yeah, it is
oh.
nice, isn't it?
I'll tell you what they don't do anymore, which they used to do, but I don't see them do it as much. Remember when they used to be able to go in and play on the
I
Xbox?
was going to say,
Yeah, don't do that anymore, do they?
Yeah.
Because you'd think, really,
Test out the
especially
screens.
with some of the new TVs,
Yeah.
right? Why not have the biggest TV
hooked up.
hooked up
Mm.
Yeah,
with some of the new Xboxes?
Maybe
and
they're
that?
getting like young kids just
yeah, destroying
playing
them.
it. Destroying
Yeah, but it's good branding. You
It's
know,
good
get it
branding.
in.
Yeah.
You know, when that kid wants a game or a TV,
Mm.
Yeah.
they're going to be like, well, obviously I'm going to go to PC World.
Yeah.
'Cause
But I don't think they care, do they? They're just. But
I don't know though, because I do. I
Yeah.
think, you know, if I'm going to get a TV,
Yeah.
I think I'll go PC World and get one. That's my first.
Yeah,
because when I was young, used to go in there and play
Yeah.
Ridge Racer and FIFA and
100%,
fuck
and
around.
they can upsell all sorts of shit with that, because like they do all like gaming chairs and that. So you have a TV set up with an Xbox with your like top of the range gaming chair and that.
headphones
You-
on.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You
Don't even have to make a noise.
I think what's good about PC World actually is where it's quite big and you go. It's unlike Argus where like
Yeah.
you can't see it. You can go there and look at it and
Yeah.
you're like, okay, I want that one. And then whereas like if Argus has probably got the same stock, maybe not as much, but like that. But I always get to PC World first because I want.
Yeah, 'cause
I
you
want
I
to
can
see
never.
it.
That's
Yeah,
the thing with
absolutely.
Argos. I never liked going to Argos. 'Cause
Yeah.
you couldn't really.
You can't see
Yeah.
it.
All they've got is that watch cabinet, isn't they? You know?
yeah, it's strange.
Yeah.
It's strange. But we asked in the first jobs one about what it was
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
and
yeah.
someone did reply, didn't they, in the comments? Can you pull that? Can you try and find that, Ben? 'Cause I can't remember quite what they said, but yeah,
Yeah,
someone working at Argos
Yeah,
was like,
it's fine, yeah.
because we were intrigued, which I still am to this day. But yeah, no, I completely agree. It's the same with like online shopping. To be fair, like I prefer going into a shop and like seeing it or whatever, especially like monitors and shit and TVs, like seeing the quality. Although in Curry's PC World, I'm pretty sure you know where all the TVs are and the screens are like unbelievable.
Oh,
They're like tuned
Yeah, yeah,
specifically,
yeah,
like the
yeah.
colours like fucking coming out of the
Because
screen and shit.
it's like some fucking fish on the screen.
Yeah.
Like Super HD. It's like
They've got a set program running.
100%.
But it's like EastEnders aren't using that camera
Yeah.
to film,
Yeah.
you know, Dot Cotton having a cigarette.
They're
You know
not-
what I mean? Imagine like Dot Cotton like 3D fucking, you know what I mean? The smoke's coming out the fucking screen.
You could see the soul leaving her body.
Yeah.
EastEnders
You
are
know
not
what I mean?
doing 8K.
See the,
Thank you, Ben.
the strings of moustache
Better
coming
doing
off.
1080p.
Strings of moustache. Oh dear.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, no, it is. But you look at him, you're like, whoa, that's like better than real life. And then it's
Yeah,
just
it's
never-
you get it
it's
home.
never-
it's
Just
not
love
the
them
same.
on demo mode. There's an actual mode on TV. It's called demo.
There you
love
go.
it on that.
Oh, really?
Just cycles through
inside. There you
random
go.
shit.
That's the inside info.
Yeah.
Straight from Hughes, that.
That's it.
Oh dear. Back to the Argos thing just for a second, because Megan Heath Videos replied 6 months ago, so when we did the first jobs one, said, I used to work in an Argos store. When I worked there, the target was to get people's products in about 3 minutes. So after you've ordered, they've got to get up there and get it in 3 minutes. If I were to go get an item and there was more around there, I would have to get them too. Right, so I've got a multitask. You could decline the second item if you were getting a massive item. The store I worked in was one floor, but was around 15 aisles wide, 6 aisles long. Each aisle was about 2.5 to 3 meters high, with adjustable shelves to make the most of your space. Although I know some stores do work on 2 floors. It's really not as exciting when you've worked there. But the crazy thing about Argos, so there's like 15 aisles. Like they've got like a whole shop
Yeah.
behind their shop.
Well, look how
The
big
thing
their
is, though,
magazine is.
15.
Yeah, isn't it?
It doesn't sound like.
There's got to be more than that.
Yeah. How are you getting
6 aisles long.
How are you getting six?
Oh wait,
Six leather 3-piece sofas,
15 aisles wide.
14 microwaves, 17 tennis rackets,
Yeah.
15 packs of shin pads, 7 Casio watches. Where are you putting all this shit?
So
Where's it all going?
I think anything big,
And in what order?
anything big is from another warehouse and it gets delivered. So
Yeah.
No, it's in there.
Apparently got
Honestly,
90
put it on the, the little fucking,
Oh,
the little thing, 7044056.
90,000
Stick that in,
products
right?
they got, apparently.
Mate, it's
what
there.
comes up.
It's there.
It's great.
There's always one.
she says it's not exciting, but I want to see their fucking. I'd like
Mate,
to go and see their
that's
shelving
someone
system.
from Argus has fucking has commented on that.
We've got-
There's something
Can't
going
trust
on.
it.
We've got 50.
I reckon it's
like,
underground.
of
I reckon
t-shirts.
I reckon it's underground.
Yeah.
90,000 products apparently they sell.
90,000 products.
That's it.
The shelving's like
Such-
30 meters deep. Is what I'm
Yeah.
saying.
They've got a bunker.
It's
for all this
crazy.
shit.
Yeah.
What there's 90,000 products in each shop.
I'm not sure if that's about in each shop, but I think across their
Their catalogue.
Product
You get like them
but you
Argos
can get
mega
most of their
stores, don't you?
most of the
Well,
stuff
I
in the
mean,
catalogue
that's what
in
I
each
mean.
store.
We've
anyway.
got
Yeah.
fucking 10 aisles.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ours are not.
Yeah.
Ours are not.
We're always out of stock.
Ours are not 2.5 meters high.
Oh dear. But yeah,
That's
fucking absolutely crazy.
That's it.
Yeah, so that's your
Interesting.
time in retail. Well,
Almost
your
like
time in Hughes Electronics.
The best times at Hughes were the weekends because when the football season was in,
Oh, everyone's getting
football's on the TV.
Oh, football! Oh, in the shop.
Every TV
Oh, that's
is
good.
like you've got
Oh.
Sky Sports on. You've got like 2-3 different games.
What that was something
Oh.
that Hughes did special for like because obviously at Curry's you've got fucking these 3D fish and all
Yeah.
this bollocks.
Well, we turned that off because we're like, fuck it. You want to watch football?
Was that
really?
something from management
Boss.
though, or was that
Or was it
just
you
sort of?
guys?
It was kind of like a win-win because we'd have to offer Sky to everyone anyway
Yeah.
who was buying shit. So even if they come in and fucking bought batteries, it's like,
Do you want
do you want a fucking 58 quid subscription to Sky? No.
No.
Oh, and here's the batteries. Give me the fucking money.
Because
That's
Yeah,
insane.
that's it.
If-
Why would you
they
upsell
played-
Sky to someone buying
That's it.
batteries?
if they played into that though, and like that was part of their thing, like
Yeah.
Hughesy, come down to Hughesys, while your wife's getting her new washing machine, lads, we've got some lazy boys out. We've got the football on. Come down on a Saturday. We've got free beverages. You can sit down, watch some of the football.
Yeah.
That's it. They should have done that.
We'll sort your wife out back. And
The sexism.
what
Do you know what I
cycle did you?
Why are your wife looking at the vacuums?
We'll put her
Why
on the
she's
sack barrow.
picking, she's probably having a good look at the dishwasher.
that's what I mean, though.
We'll watch
Hughesys.
football with the lads.
Those are the views of Hughes, not
Yeah.
Atman.
Fuses.
Hey,
We're,
it's the life we're living. Don't deny it.
I mean, if I was on the John Smiths, then I might agree with that, but I'm not.
Oh, it's funny. Oh man.
You'd used to get regulars come in on the Saturday just to watch the football.
That's what I'm saying. I think
Yeah,
it would
make
get
it a
people in.
thing.
Yeah.
The thing is, they'd make it look like they're actually interested in TVs, though. Just play it
Yeah.
cool. Just come
Play it
in and
cool.
watch it with us.
And like
Little gaming area for
Curry's,
kids.
right? This is
Yeah.
something for Curry's PC World, right? England game, right? They got.
They're going to love the branded, by the way, because we call them Curry's PC World every time without
Yeah,
fail.
yeah.
Love it.
right? England game, right? No one's going to be fucking going shopping for a TV. Everyone's watching the game.
Yeah.
But why
Show
don't
it.
they? Why don't they offer it down there? Go
Yeah.
down there. Fucking, you can put on get all the headphones out,
Yeah.
the Bose, right?
Offer free snacks.
Yeah, free
Yeah.
snacks. Come down, watch it on the multiple screens.
Yeah.
Depend. You want curved? We got curved. Do you want
And all that, if you
Well,
sell
not
one TV, then it was worth it, wasn't it? Do you know what I mean? If one
Exactly.
TV comes
I
out,
do like. I've got a curved TV. I do. Like
Yeah.
Curved.
yeah,
Gives you that little
yeah.
good watching football.
You know what I mean? Get them
100%.
pissed. They might get one on finance. You don't know.
They can't afford.
Yeah.
The ethics.
That's definitely moral.
Yeah, no, that's top
No,
notch.
absolutely.
Morals and ethics go out the window with
that's
sales.
it.
We've established this.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's how the world spins, mate.
It's
Mate, have you ever
What's your
been? You
credit
probably
rating?
have been in it. There's there's one in Stevenage. When I used to have bad credit, I used it to help rebuild my credit because I give credit to anyone. It's like, I can't remember what they're called.
Loan shark.
QZ.
Wonga.
They're
something like that.
but they should. But you basically go in there and you can buy like a TV. Big-
Amigo TV.
Oh, not
Bright House.
Bright House, something like that.
yeah, we're allowed to
Yeah.
say that. Yeah. Anyway, so I was like, I wanted to
Fantastic
buy.
company.
I mean, they're that bad. They're not even Yarmouth anymore.
Yeah.
Bright House, plenty of debt.
It's insane. So I bought when I was rebuilding my credit. I bought I just wanted to buy anything, but like the cheapest thing was like £100. And I think it was like a Nintendo some sort of Nintendo thing for 100
Yeah.
quid, mate.
DS or something.
Them I paid over 2 years, and the amount of them, I think I paid about 300 quid for it. for 100, and it's like that's how much the interest is astronomical.
Yeah.
40-50%. Like, I don't know. We might get sued for that, so
Nah,
might be
it was-
5%.
That's it.
So I know it's not. More like-
Fuck it. I was there in the trenches. I know it's not what you say.
It's a dull
They've
bungalow.
gone into administration.
Oh, sorry. Fuck.
Have they?
Yeah,
No
as of
wonder.
2020.
Let's buy them.
Oh, buy it, mate. You can have it. You
Dull
can,
bungalow.
you can pay £3 a week, fucking for the
Yeah.
rest of your life, and you got to pay. Fuck, if you sell it for 100 grand, it'd be like 200 million by
Yeah.
the time you bought it.
But
It's horrific.
but that was to rebuild credit.
That I did it to rebuild, but
Yeah.
they didn't give a fuck about that.
No, of course, yeah.
They are done. So like they prey on the weak. So like if people who can't afford a telly,
Yeah.
go and pay. I don't know what Ben's doing.
100
I have no idea.
149% APR.
Yeah,
That's facts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is disgusting.
Yeah, so look, you
Facts,
buy a
that.
TV and you pay like £3 a week. It's usually like weekly, so the like target people who are on benefits or
Yeah.
whatever, and then pay free, so you can get your big TV. But by the time you've paid it off,
Yeah,
you've paid
spent-
like 4-5 times the amount.
Age
Like
range.
you end
It's
up
mad.
paying it for life.
And can you get out of that or not?
Only if you pay it off. Yeah.
Fuck.
Or 14-day cooling off period.
There you go.
But again, it's like if you want a £1,000 TV,
Yeah.
like if you're just thinking about it weekly, I can afford like £3 a week. If it's over 5 years or 6 years, whatever, then it might be a thing to do. But you end up paying so much more money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Fucking hell, man.
horrific.
Where did you have to put stuff on finance when you were there?
Yeah, but
Because I
most of the products, if it was like over, I think it's like 450 quid, you could do through like a company they used, Hughes, you could do like a buy now, pay later, which was literally you just deferred the payment for a year,
Get it online.
get it, and then
Yeah,
you
yeah.
have to pay the full amount
Yeah,
before the
yeah.
year ends. Otherwise, you get locked into like, I can't remember what percentage it was. And you just have to pay a £29 admin fee. So it technically does cost £29 more,
yeah.
but you get it basically for no interest.
Yeah, I did that with one of my cameras once. That was just to get a credit rating. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
It was like
yeah.
6 months free.
Yeah.
Like, and it's just 6 months free interest. So I just did that instead. But the reason I said that is it was like the biggest fucking bore pain in the ass sequence to get it on finance. So with that, to actually do that, oh man, if someone wanted something on finance, I'd have probably given it to the top fucking salesman. So hey, he'll do that for you. Fuck off.
Yeah.
That was fucking dull as fuck. But yeah, there you go, guys. Get stuff on. Build your credit up.
Build credit.
Yeah,
Credit cards.
Go down to Hughes's on transfer deadline day.
that's it.
Your wife can be over there buying a Hoover, and you can fucking get yourself a good deal.
That's
That's
it.
it. 100%. Boys, have we got any more jobs in a different sector, perhaps? Anything
I've got a
going on?
couple. I picked out 5 that I don't think I covered last time.
Jesus.
Of my bit. Have you got any you wanna?
I thought we could go on the security hype. Yeah, we both done it.
Yeah, I
Ooh.
haven't got that down. Did we mention that before?
Don't think we
No.
went,
No.
we never went
You
into
mentioned
it.
That's another
And I've
security.
heard a story from Ed to do with security days, which would be
Yes.
quite funny.
I'll inform you if we say something that we've said before.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
we'll go on this. Yeah, I mean, I'll knock one off of my
Yeah.
list.
Nice.
I'll go with the
Security. SIA badge.
Yeah,
Well, full on like the fucking.
Oh yeah.
door
You have to.
supervisor,
Yeah,
mate.
yeah, yeah. So
What was it like getting that?
Easy.
The badge.
Is
you
it
have-
easy?
well, yeah, you have to go on a course. It's
You have
like
to knock someone out.
2 days.
Yeah.
You got no ID.
The only thing is the people that you go on that course with.
Meatheads.
Yeah.
Yeah, some of them are. It's different.
But the
yeah.
thing is, it's not that after you've had it for 2 years, you have to get it. You have to go and do it again.
Yeah.
So a lot of the people that are on there are just re-getting. So
Yeah.
there was at least 7 knobheads
Yeah.
when I was doing mine.
Mine was all right, to be fair. I can teach that course.
Can you?
Yeah. Yeah,
Oh, sick.
I've got all the qualifications.
Nice.
to-
It's what a CIA badge.
to teach. It's a fucking long process to get all your
Is it?
stuff
That's all, yeah,
to
I know
teach
what
it.
it's
But
like.
yeah, I can.
But when I went on mine, I don't know if I ever told this story, but they do. It's like, oh fuck me, what do they call it now? they teach you about, you know, getting people in the recovery position.
Right,
And,
yeah.
I don't know what
First aid
first
stuff,
aid.
yeah.
Yeah. So they teach you that as well. And then like as the woman was like going through it, she was like talking about like the last breath and stuff. And like I don't know why, it just proper wigged me out, and I started going all sweating and I passed out.
Fuck.
As she was teaching it, I fucking passed the fuck out while
Really?
she was doing it,
Got
right?
a lie,
The thing is, I've
patient.
got a big meathead here, big meathead there, and all your body wants to do when you pass out is
that
get
cling on?
straight.
Yeah.
So like they thought, the geezer next to me thought I was just like fucking around or whatever.
Ugh,
But obviously I was
fucking
gone.
guy.
I didn't even know what was going
Yeah.
on. So he's like, what the fuck's this guy like messing around or whatever? And then next thing I know, I wake up, the person who's teaching the course has got me in the fucking recovery position, and she's going through everything with everyone. They all think it's like part of the show. Do you know what I mean? Like I've been
You're a
sat in
paid
there.
actor.
Yeah, like I was a paid, and I was like, no, I've genuinely been passed out.
And
And then like an ambulance had to come. I think my blood sugar levels were low or something.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and I'd passed out in a fucking
First
first aid.
Could have been in a better place.
That is something out of
That's
the
what,
office. That is-
that's what. Oh mate, it was like a show, and I was like, this shit always happens to me. And I
Give
was
that
like,
man a Twix.
just couldn't believe it. Yeah, they injected me with some like sugar stuff, and I don't know. Yeah, it was pretty crazy.
That's
but
microchip.
I was like,
Fucking
just
hell.
going home afterwards. I couldn't believe it. I was like, of all the
So did you have to withdraw from the course?
no,
No, you got the badge.
yeah, I got my
Participation badge.
Yeah.
Got his first aid as well.
I got my first aid, even though I was passed out through most of it. But yeah, no, it was. I mean, it made me realise. I was like, fucking hell, it's you
Works.
need to learn this shit because
Yeah.
stuff can happen.
Yeah,
And
100%.
like I say, we
I'm going to
like
talk about it later.
doing security and stuff does when you've got that many people in one spot.
Yeah.
You know,
You do learn some actual good tactics. I did,
Yeah.
where I was going to, I didn't actually teach any course, but I was on the route to, so I did all the courses to do it. So I did conflict management, like level 4, and some other stuff. But like some of the tactics they teach you to, rather than like brute strength of getting people out, if someone's a bit pissed or whatever, and you want to get them out, you can, rather than be like, right, you're off and dragging them out, you
Yeah.
can just go up to them and be like, oh, there's someone outside waiting for you. They're asking, and they're like, what? And then you go,
Yeah.
yeah, come on, they're just right outside. And then you get them outside, and then they've walked with you, and then you just take them out, and then you just fucking,
Yeah.
they're done then. Right, so you don't have to go for that struggle
Yeah.
of getting
That's
someone
the
out.
whole thing. Like it is like the course and that is kind of teaching you
Yeah,
the
other
right way to do
techniques.
it. But
Yeah.
like obviously you just get people who've been in the industry for ages and they
Yeah.
got their own ways of dealing with things.
Yeah. It's very interesting job that, and I feel like obviously it gets a bad rap. For sometimes, because, you know, there are, without doubt, this isn't slander, it's just, you know, anecdotal evidence of, you know, a doorman beating people up, you know, using excess force or whatever. But at the same time, to play devil's advocate, you know, I'd imagine you get some fucking annoying drunk
Yeah,
people.
mate, yeah.
That's
You know
what I
mean?
think. There's different.
Like,
There's different kinds of like
Yeah.
say I did it on. I was like did it on a racetrack.
yeah.
So it was, you know, I wasn't really dealing with
Yeah.
too many drunks or
Yeah.
or whatever.
I've dealt with
so-
some same guys. and
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
sure they're absolutely lovely guys.
Gen-
That's what I mean. I do think I think doormen have to be the way that they are. You know,
Yeah.
you know, to a level.
Yeah.
Depends where it is. Well, what's the venue? You think like if it's a busy Weatherspoons, that's fucking there's loads of people on. You're gonna probably be dealing with a lot of shit. So
Yeah.
you probably have a different approach to if you're doing a black tie event where you're getting a load of corporate business people in.
Yeah.
Although you might get the odd dickhead who's had a few bit to drink,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I think you got
I always just used to try and treat the person with that situation as how it
Yeah,
was.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
I think people can get into the thing of like, oh, I've seen this before. I know what this like. Oh, it's just another drunk person or whatever, and it's like could be something quite serious. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they're just treating them like someone who's had a couple of beers. You have to just take every single person.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I had an altercation with someone in a club. He was I was drunk, but he was absolutely fucking smashed, and he was just being a fucking cunt for no reason. And he would not fuck off, and so the security kind of like broke us up. And because I was still I was still relatively sober, I was calm, polite to the security, explaining the situation and stuff. Later on, this guy came back again, so I just pushed him away with his face. and then the fucking security swarmed over. But because I wasn't a fucking dick and I was, you know, polite and explained the situation and stuff, the security were absolutely lovely to me.
Yeah.
And they fucking hauled that cunt out of there like Jesus Christ. But like I think it is perhaps a lot in that scenario, you know, how you come across and perhaps how you treat them is how you'll be treated in return. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I wouldn't imagine it's that much of an enviable job for like especially nightclub doorman, for the amount of fucking dicks that you'd get and smash.
I think it all depends on what kind of person you are, though. Some people who do it love it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, of course, and there'll be people out there that enjoy violence that do it because it gives you an opportunity.
That's what I mean. So
yeah, it's very interesting.
My first solo like running down at Silverstone, I was running the security for it, and the guy was kind of like training me up, and he left and he was like, I think it was a Sunday evening. He's like, it's been quiet all weekend. He's like, you'll probably have no dramas. Like, he left about 7, 8 o'clock. He's like, you'll be fine. You just probably we had a caravan and the guys would be on duty and coming to it. He's like, probably nothing could go on. So he left. I was like, sweet, I'll just chill out.
Yeah.
Fucking 20 minutes after he's left, like, bang, 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 on the caravan doors. Like, it's like, you right? It's like, my dad's having an heart attack. And I was like, what? I was like, okay. And then so I radioed in for an ambulance. He's like, quick help. And I was like, and he's like, so I went with him.
Yeah.
Luckily the ambulance had come up and I kind of ran with him. Because I thought I'm probably going to have to deal with it. And I'd done first aid, but like I hadn't dealt with that. And luckily the ambulance come and then dealt with that. So like it all got sorted and the guy was okay. And then I went back. And then, mate, about 2 hours later, I had the same thing again. Two heart attacks.
Really?
Yeah. And when I told the guy, he was like, you do get the odd one that happens.
Yeah.
It's like, but to have 2 in one night is insane.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, it was like a really hot day, and like I think a lot of people have been drinking and stuff. But 2 heart attacks in one night.
That's the thing. It's
insane.
such a like nothing will really happen for like ages. And then, like I say, I used to do the racetrack, so it was like you get a lot of motorbike, racing and stuff.
Yeah.
But like obviously in that, people come off the bike, and then if you've got loads of people in like the paddock and stuff, you have to make sure like all the exits are like clear, so that if the ambulance can get them straight out and straight to hospital. So like as soon as there was like a big crash, you'd have to start preparing that you've got enough space. You can't just have people walking around with beers and everything. You have to, but like people don't really know what's going on. So you're trying to be like, look, they're like, why does this road need to be clear? Like there's nothing, and it's like, it's because someone's come off the track and they might need to go to hospital. So there's like loads of little things that you have to do, isn't there? But it's quite a buzz, really.
Yeah, I had one where it was like it's a 50-50, and like this guy again, another heart attack. They didn't know his heart attack had collapsed, but it was a heart attack. It collapsed, and it was on the radio, and they're like, he's not breathing, he's like shaking, and the ambulance driver come to me, and we're like, where is it? And they're like, it's on gate 9, I think it was, and like gate 8 was like down in front of me, but I didn't know whether it was left or right.
Oh shit!
So the ambulance guy's with me, and it's on the radio, like going like quick, like get him over. And then I was
50-50.
50-50. I was like, fuck, and I just didn't know which way it was, and luckily I went right, and that was the right way. And we ran over, and then the ambulance guy did his thing, and the guy was all right. But I was like, man, imagine if because I'd have got that wrong, we'd have run all the way to that one and then have to double back. And like obviously time is
every second.
essence.
Yeah.
But like I say, most of the time nothing happens, but then all of a sudden you think like a race event, depending on which you'll have like, you can have like 100,000 people, can't you? Some of them. So like when you got that, like a football film, you got that many people. Like the chance of a heart attack happening are actually, I wouldn't say fairly common, but they do.
But a lot higher.
Shit happens. People, so you have to deal with stuff. Interesting. But like fucking hell. I mean, that gets you adrenaline going. Man.
Like, fucking hell.
Well, I had it once where it's like I was on the main gate, and they have like certain codes on the radio, and there's one for like obviously if a child goes missing.
Yeah.
So like I got this thing that a child had gone missing, and when that happens,
Yeah,
if they
it's like fucking lockdown.
no one coming in, no one going out,
Mm.
and but you're not allowed to tell anyone either. You kind of have to be like really
Yeah.
like coy about it.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
like
yeah.
you just like block the barrier off.
Oh, you shut. Yeah, shut.
Yeah,
it
so
down,
I was on main gate, so I was like, no one's coming in, no one's going out until I get like another. So like, I've like blocked everything off, and it was towards the end of an event, so people like start to leave
shit,
early,
yeah.
and I was like, fucking hell. So I've got like this massive queue of people, and they're just sitting there like, why can't I go in? It's just like, oh,
Yeah.
you know, we can't let anyone out at the moment, unfortunately. Like, and then they're like, oh, you know, there's been this big. They're like, yeah, you're gonna have to start checking the vehicles for like. So I'm like,
making sure.
yeah, I have to. The people that are leaving, I'm like, right, I need to check, give your vehicle like a full check over or anything, and then like I'm doing this. They've already found the kid. No one's fucking said anything to me.
Yeah.
So then I'm for the next half an hour, I'm like fucking. What's that geezer called? Who's what's that guy called? Fucking-
Oh, he's looking for his kid.
He's always
Yeah,
looking.
yeah.
Every movie, his daughter gets kidnapped.
Yeah.
Oh, Liam Neeson.
I was like
yeah.
fucking the Liam Neeson of the racetrack, mate. Like checking under their vehicles, and like people are like, what's happening? Is there a bomb? And I'm just like checking. All right, you can leave.
Yeah.
And yeah, I was just fucking hunting for a kid who'd already been found.
It is funny, this shit.
Yeah, but no one would come back over the radio to say
Yeah.
like, oh, you know,
tell
like
them.
everything's all right now.
Yeah.
And, yeah, it's just like, but when you're in it, like
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
like,
Yeah.
I was like, hunting for this child.
I think I said about it before. I don't know if it was on this with one, but there was everyone had finished the shift, so we had like I think it was like 200 people or 200 or 300, so like, that were leaving. If everyone finished shift, everyone's gone
Yeah.
home. But like we had walkie-talkies at sign out, and they're like 200 really expensive ones because they do big parameters, like 250 quid a piece, and there's 4 missing.
Right.
So I had to say, he was like, right, you sign them out, they're on you, tell everyone they're not going until they return. So I had to keep like 200 odd people. I was like, you
Yeah.
can't go home. I want them returned. And everyone, obviously, like everyone's finished. Like they've done 12-hour shifts.
Yeah.
It's been raining. Everyone's pissed off. And I was like, and I had to stand up on this thing and be like, right. So then everyone went off like 10, 20 minutes. And I was like, no one can leave until they're found. And about half an hour later, they eventually dribbled back in, and people, because when you give them on shift and whatever, people just fucking leave them at
Right. Yeah.
theirs. But,
So it wasn't necessarily stolen.
Yeah.
They were just like left.
there probably were.
Right.
It took about half an hour to,
Yeah.
but I had to like, it made 200 people get in.
Yeah.
I think a few
Because
people.
we, like I
did
say,
leave.
we used to do like management really at the thing. So you'd have to,
Yeah.
you were looking after like, I don't know, like 200 staff, and then you're looking after all the people that are in the event
Yeah.
as well. And like, it is mad, isn't it? Really?
Yeah. Is it
when you're doing it.
Yeah,
But some of the guards that turned up, like you do get some. They've never done it, and they're just chancing. Like you find people asleep in. Like, yeah, you find like security guards asleep in
Yeah.
hedges and.
and people just not
Fucking
prepared. Like
Yeah.
I've had a couple of guys turn up, and you tell them like over the phone, you're like, right, you're here for 3 days.
Yeah.
You know, you're gonna do 12-hour shifts. It'll be like 12 on, 12 off, and like tell them the wage or whatever. And I had guys turned up who were like for 3 days, and they've got their uniform on, and
Yeah.
that's it. And it's like, and maybe like a bottle of water.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you okay? And like some of them are legends. It's just like, I'm fine.
Yeah.
Leave me here for 3 days. Oh, I've got
Yeah.
up some food, and he's like, and I'll just do it. And then others are just like, you're like, what you gonna do? And some of them make like a little thing where they sleep or whatever. It's like there's a campsite or something. You tell them to bring a tent, and
Yeah.
but some of them just don't care. They just come
Right.
up, mate. And
There's always different kinds of people.
Yeah.
You find like tanks who just don't care.
Yeah.
You put them on a spot,
Yeah.
they'll do exactly as
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
asked, whatever. And then you get like, you used to get the ones who used to have to take the radios off them because they'd be constantly coming across the radio like asking dumb shit because like it's really important that the radio stays clear.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
for like, but then it's like. I really want a Kit Kat. Can you bring that? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
right, take his radio off him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, stick him on like a shit position or something.
Yeah.
And
So my main job for it was recruitment. So
Yeah.
I was in charge of recruiting. So if you got an event like that, I'd have to recruit. Probably my biggest was that one. I said like 200 people.
Yeah.
For like a weekend event. So like
Yeah.
for me, I'd use some agencies, and then I'd use that thing. But like you always get no shows,
Yeah.
so I'd always overbook. But like that's scary as well because I'm booking 200 people. So my thing was I'd go like 20% over.
Yeah.
But then I'm always like, my boss would not pay if he's paying for the 200. Like if by miracle
They
those
all
two
turned up.
they all turn up,
You got
I'm
240
fucked.
people.
I've got to tell 40 people that have travelled from wherever miles. So I've got
Yeah.
so like I'd always be like.
It's always, it pretty much was always under.
It never happened. It's always you're always struggling.
On the day,
I've
that's
had
always
times where I've
there.
been 30% under on the day.
Yeah.
And I'm
Jesus
like,
Christ.
fuck. And I've also done that strategy where I've gone 20% over, but you just like it's just quite common that you get people let you down. You'll have people come. I've had people come and then like it'll rain and then they haven't got the right equipment and they're like I'm wet and you're like well yeah we've given you a coat but like still. Like the trousers are soaking because it's like you haven't bought waterproofs, and it's like no, I'm going home. And I've had guys do 10 minutes and then walk home.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Because it is literally standing on a position
Yeah.
for 12 hours.
Yeah.
You get like half an hour break, and it's
God, that's
that is
brutal.
pretty much it.
Yeah.
But some people can do it. I used to do it all the time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't mind. Yes, like you get used to it. Like if you're prepared, like you got your waterproofs, whatever, you got some
Yeah.
food, you got some music on. It's like you're only standing there. But
Yeah.
like if you
Yeah.
turn up somewhere with nothing and it fucking rains,
Yeah.
like we'd always tell people this, but they just don't listen.
I remember my first ever day doing security, and Dad was the manager, so I was like, because I was his son, I was like, right, I've got to fucking make sure that I do a really good job. I don't want to like let down you. You was like
Yeah.
the
Like-
recruitment,
yeah.
and everything. So it's
Yeah.
like I had to
Yeah.
do it for the family, and they put me on this tunnel, and they were like, start of the day, they're like, no one comes through here on a moped or whatever. So like halfway through the day, someone like because you get like a lot of Italians because it's like the moto.
the Grand Prix.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
stuff,
yeah,
motocross,
MotoGP and stuff. And it's Italian. He's trying to get down the tunnel. I'm like, mate, you're not coming through. Like, and he's revving his moped up against me, and I'm holding him back, and I'm like pushing him back, and he's fucking kicking off in like Italian, like shouting, and I'm like ready to like go to war with this geezer. I'm just like, look, you ain't fucking coming down here, not at all. And then so he's going off on the radio and everything, and then they come back like. He's like, "You're done. You're finished." And I didn't realise it was like
One of the races.
no, it's like one of the geezer who owns like the whole thing. Do you know what I mean? Like he's allowed to go anywhere.
Yeah.
But because you don't know.
Yeah,
like,
of course. Yeah.
I've just been told no one's allowed to come down.
Yeah.
And but luckily in the end, he come back and he was like really nice to me and he was like,
Yeah.
"Good job."
Yeah,
I was going to say, if he owns the shit, then
Yeah,
it'd be
yeah,
appreciative
yeah.
that
It's
you...
really annoying because like you get a pass, all access pass, and
Yeah.
they're like, right, you're on the thing. They're like, no one without this pass can come through here.
Yeah.
And you're like, cool. So you stick on it, and then fuck it, and then like, I haven't got my pass, or I've left it with someone through there, and then you gotta like make the call.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. You'll know,
yeah.
like you'll see the geezer will be on the brochure. It's like a racer or whatever,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and it's like I can't let you in because
Yeah.
You can get
Yeah.
in shit for
yeah,
that.
that's what I mean. Yeah, and it's like because if you go in and you haven't got your pass to like an organizer or whatever,
Yeah.
and then they're like, how did you get in?
How did you get in? Yeah.
because they try stuff, don't they?
Yeah.
Because the company will try and like do stuff against the security so that they pay him like less.
Yeah.
So they were like, well, your security hasn't done its job, so we're paying 20% less.
hell,
So
yeah.
it is like it's a bit of a battle, but it's fun.
Fucking hell. That's mad. I don't know why. This is obviously naive to when you said like you work security. Whenever you say security, I just picture nightclub doorman.
Yeah.
It's
I think people do. Yeah,
Yeah.
Like, there's loads of like I say, there's loads of different.
Yeah.
Like again, the racetrack that we worked at Donington, they also host Download.
Yeah.
Oh
And,
yeah, of course, Donington
yeah,
Park.
so like once a year,
Oh, sick.
once a year you get Download, and basically you had the Download security who come in to
Yeah.
do Download,
Like
but
stand
then,
in front of the stages and that.
yeah, but then our job was to like make sure that no one comes onto the racetrack or because it's on a racetrack, so you
Yeah.
imagine a bunch of pissed people looking over seeing a racetrack,
Seeing that,
like,
yeah.
oh, I'm gonna go on there for the night or whatever.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
like we're like guarding all the track and stuff.
Fucking hell, man.
So that always used to be quite fun.
So you could obviously hear all the music and shit going on. Oh,
but that was
sick.
the one sort of weekend where it was like you realise that you don't want to be dealing with drunk people all the time. Like, I don't think
Yeah.
I could do like festival
Yeah,
security
yeah.
and stuff because it's
Yeah.
it's completely different to like the
Yeah.
racetrack side of stuff. But it was always fun.
Yeah.
It was good because we had
absolutely.
all access as well, so we was allowed to like go, Go on a little mission through download and
Just because you just reminded me, I actually had a little run-in with security at Reading 2018. This was like the height of the festival days. And I'd lost a camera. So I went to and we camped in Orange. And on the channel, we were like, everyone, like, Orange is a place to be. Got to camp at Orange. Anyway, lose my camera. Turns out it was just, I got that smashed. I put it in my mate's tent. Anyway, but I didn't realise that. I didn't realise that at the time. So I went to every camp has got like a security hut. And I went in there. I was like, just get to give a description of my camera. And he was like, the security guy went, oh
yeah.
I fucking know who you are. And I was like, fuck, what have I done? He's like, you're the fucking reason that we have so many people in Orange, and we have such an over saturated amount of people like fucking with our health and safety in Orange Camp. And I was like, if you find my camera, you're not going to give it to me, are you? Like, I was like, fuck. And that was when I saw, really, shit, maybe you do have a little bit of influence on the shit that you say. But he was like, I didn't even have to, he was just like, oh, I fucking know who you are. You're our fucking security problem. I was like, fucking hell.
Did the camera have recording on it, or did you have stuff on it?
Yeah. I've been filming but I just got, I think that was the night that I got out the 89.5% absinthe. And
nice.
Yeah, I was gutted because I was like, my content. And then later, literally, I was just in my tent, and our mate Luber, he just come through, and he was just this was in my tent. I was like, oh my God. But yeah, security weren't too happy with us, to say the least. But that was fucking, at the same time, it was like, in the back of my head, I was like, that's fucking cool. Like, the fact that I managed to fucking cause that.
Radar.
Yeah. But much like in the original Jobs episode, because I listened to it recently, we did a 50-minute first half, and we've just done a 45-minute first half.
Yeah,
so we'll take a break, and then we will come back with more stories. I must admit, I've got a bit of a tragically sad one. See you in a bit. ATMA, how's it going? I'm here to talk about becoming an ATMA VIP. Now, you might see on your YouTube a join button. If you don't, there is a link in the description. If you hit that join button, you'll become an ATMA VIP. Now, with that, you will get a one-off sign-up free t-shirt. The design looks a little bit like this. You will also get access to an exclusive members-only podcast once a month, and we have a members-only Discord channel as well. And just as a bonus, you'll get some cool badges and some emotes of our faces and other things that you can put in live chats and in the comments section. So there we go, guys. That is $4.99. You get a free t-shirt upon sign up, an exclusive monthly podcast, that exclusive membership only Discord channel, which we will jump in and out of every now and then, and the badges and emotes. Thank you so much. If you want to become a VIP, hit that join button or the link down below. See you soon, guys. Hello, we're back. Do we not do the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 to come back? Nah.
I mean, if you want.
Not really.
You said you didn't like it last time, so.
No, I'm not. No, I like it when we do funny faces, like 5, and you know what I mean. But I think it's because you were trying to find so many different ones at the start.
Yeah.
It was like, and then there was copyright issues. You had Queen on at some point.
3, 2, 1.
Well, I'm here now.
I think just keep that in.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. That's it. Nice.
Watch that fucking be the copyright thing that ends the video.
Yeah. Fucking blocked worldwide.
That's Donald Duck's quack.
That's the Roblox thing, isn't it?
Oh. That's copyright.
That's it. Yeah. Dan, how many jobs you got?
So
You've lived some life, mate, so far.
I've done a lot. I've done a lot of jobs for a short period. I was just thinking of like 5 that I hadn't covered.
Yeah.
He's come up with 10.
There's still a big list.
That was too easy. So
I've gone with my first actual ever job.
Right.
I had a little funny story, but it was I'd come out of college, and then my mum had got me on this apprenticeship thing, and there's this cab company. Like they were like, I went for an interview and they gave me a job as an apprentice.
Yeah.
But then like they just left me, and then they put me on a night shift, and my mum was like, She was like, it's a bit weird. I think I was 16 or 17, and then but then I was running the cab company.
Oh, sorry, not driving them.
No, I was running the. So this is like 1996, and then I didn't know. Obviously, there's no maps or anything. This is old school, fucking no internet.
Yeah.
This is just like, so like, I didn't even, and I lived in East Coast, and the job was in Ryde on the Isle of Wight, so I didn't know anywhere in Ryde, and I just remember I'd be on this night shift, and like, I'd have these like transmitter things that you would just tell them where people phone in, and then you tell them where. And I remember I phoned one, and I pressed the wrong button, and it was something like a real common name of a street,
Right.
like fucking whatever. I can't even remember what it was, but it was like, I don't know, Smith Street or something. And but I'd put it out to everyone. So that, because there's so many Smith streets, all the cabbies had gone to like one that they knew, and there's about 3 or 4 streets. So then we had people phoning in, and like the owner. I remember the owner come back, and like I'd cost a load of money by doing. It wouldn't have been like fuck all, but they were trying to make it as a really big deal.
Yeah.
So then I got my like apprenticeship person, and she was like, "You're 16." On a night shift, like there's no one with you, like this is illegal.
Yeah.
She's like, they're having you go about this, and then like she was like, it's totally, it's like you shouldn't even be here. I mean, God knows what they were thinking. So I left that one.
It would have been funny if it was more of a niche street name. And then, like, imagine you did put the call out, and every
all went
single
there.
cab was
I think a couple of them did meet up. There's a big hoo-ha.
Like, when you see loads of cabs all behind, like, they're not waiting for someone. It's just an apprentice is just sent them all to the same place.
Well, I just remember, like, I think, I had a TV, I think, which...
the thing is, though, when you're that young, this is the thing with jobs, like, when you're that young, you don't really...
Oh, mate,
you don't really, like, understand...
anything.
The it's someone's business or
the
implications of just doing, like, not doing something right. You can really fuck shit up. But then it's down to the obviously it's down to the business owner for putting someone in charge.
They were proper dodge, proper. I mean, how they even? I was supposed to be working there in the day with someone teaching me shit, and they just blagged it to get someone on the night shift. Yeah, and stuck me fucking who know fuck all. So I wasn't there very long. There, like 2 weeks.
I would love to see if they had a video.
Oh,
in the office, just
so funny. Running a fucking cab company, but it was fun. I mean, fair play. I must have done something right for them to put me to think I was all right to do it. Another one. I just thought I'd mention it. There's no real funny stories, but I worked as in an arcade. I fixed arcade machines. For a while, so like I'd strip them down, and I like random job that I did. I didn't do that for very long because everyone smoked in those days. So it's fucking disgusting. But quite good. You learn a few. So there's a couple of machines, the old school ones, not the new ones because they're linked up to the internet. But you can do some codes, and you can empty the hopper. So you can just have all the money come out if you did the right code.
That was actually one of my jobs once. I used to
you were like I
used to go around with I was a driver, and one of the lads I used to go around with, he knew how to play like he just knew how to play like
machines,
about 15% of machines.
My cousin's the same. He's banned from like all casinos in the country.
He grew up in Southend. And basically I would drive him around to all the different machines, because he knew like where they were. And he had like contacts with people who worked in the bars, and they would like ring him up and be like, this one's full. And then he'd be like, right, we're going to hit there. And then I'd just drive him around, and then like he'd always give me half.
Fucking
so we'd just drive around, and then he'd like clear out like, I don't know, 10 machines or something, 100 quid each. And then just have like 500 quid in pound coins.
Mate, so we would learn.
That's it. That was my day's work, and we'd be like just fucking. I'd have loads of pound coins. I was doing the car boots as well, so I was like, it's perfect.
He's
getting rid of it. Just used to drive him around. Proper crazy.
Two things I come across. There's one there's like to watch out for. So like one guy had put a bit of string on his hand, and then had a string with a coin attached, and then if you get it the right, it's really hard to do. You have to be skillful. You can like drop it in, and you get it the right thing, and you can just click it up and down and do the credits.
Right.
Another one is you can take the start button off, and you know your things you blast with the kettle.
zapper.
Yeah.
You can just zap that, and then some of the machines it triggers the hopper, so like an overload.
Fucking
So
hell.
then you just take that off, zap it, and then it'll just empty off. So like anytime you could hear something emptying,
Yeah.
you'd be like, I'll be skating around having a little look, making sure that there's no like.
Yeah.
As well, like
tricks
even
on.
like they like
I love fruities.
the lad I used to, if you just put a quid in, and he would know
Yeah, by the
by
sound.
how
Yeah.
whether it hit. Obviously,
if
if,
it's
it,
full.
if it landed late, it would
Yeah.
mean it was empty.
Empty.
Yeah, if it landed quick, it was like, and also the way the lights would flash, he would know whether,
Yeah.
like he would know as soon as he put a quid in and it started flashing, he'd be like, oh, it's ready to go.
Yeah.
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 He'd be like, right,
Yeah.
fucking mate, watch the doors. We've got to be out of here quick. And, and then like sometimes he'd have like a key. He had like a little
Yeah.
key where he'd come in and he'd be like, right, just block her view, and he'd do this little thing with the key, and then he'd know.
Oh,
tell him
mate.
how much is in there.
Yeah.
Are you
and,
sure
like-
you went out of a bank?
yeah, mate, we just mate, we used to
Watch the
just
doors.
drive
Yeah.
around like to like sketchy
Yeah.
pubs in London and like as well because you had all like the pound. I think like the police knew that people did it. It was like
Yeah,
it's like
yeah,
a thing
yeah.
like people know.
Yeah.
So like you have to like keep your hands clean because obviously all
Yeah,
the pound coins
get the
turn
shit.
your hand
Yeah.
green,
Yeah.
and they know that like
Straight away.
Yeah.
I don't know, like there's just loads of little things. Which,
Yeah.
it's
Mate.
I mean, fucking mental, really. but-
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, like I say, mate, I got a cousin, and he's banned from every casino in the country, and arcades and shit. But he just used to fucking. It was literally his career. He just
Yeah.
rinsed the machines, and he just had like
Yeah,
the keys
yeah.
and all sorts of shit.
Yeah.
He just
There are not nowadays, especially ones in services and that they're all linked to the internet.
you
Yeah,
can't,
yeah,
you
yeah.
can't
do
really
it
do
all
it
nowadays.
nowadays.
this was like back in the day. I think early 2000s, maybe late 90s, early 2000s. But yeah,
Good
fucking
days. Good days.
mad. Yeah, I love fruit machines.
I
though.
do love
They're
a
good fun.
fruity. Like,
Yeah, and I you know, I'd often, if I was ever in an arcade or whatever, keep an eye on people who are on machines, and if you see them, just
Yeah,
feed
yeah.
it,
Yeah,
and then
yeah,
they
yeah,
fuck
yeah.
off. It's
Yeah.
like, well,
Yeah.
we've got a better chance now. At least I've seen
Yeah.
him stick 70 quid in it. So
no, I do like a fruity.
Yeah.
Couple
Yeah.
more. I don't know if I mentioned. I was like a waiter at a 5-star restaurant.
I don't recall that.
And that, but I'd never done 5-star in my life. Knew fuck all about it. I'd never ever done waitering at that point. I don't think I'd done waitering.
I think it was.
It went straight in. It was silver
Yeah.
service,
Silver-
whatever it is.
yeah,
Yeah, the
Mate, my interview is so funny. So I went in, but I
You must be so good at interviews.
am very
Yeah.
because I did
The jobs
recruitment.
you-
I've done a lot of interviews, so I know exactly what they're looking for. So
Yeah.
like, I know the structure. I know like when they ask you a question, I know you want to be hitting about 3 or 4 points each time.
That's quite interesting. Just before we go on to the waitering, just for people listening at home, can you give like say
Yeah.
3 top tips for an interview?
Yeah, I'd say so like when they ask you a question, basically the usual format of an interview process is they're going to be writing shit down. So they're not going to, if they're doing 5-10 people in a day, they're not going to remember everything. So they're going to go back to their notes. So
Right.
like you got your first general impression, you want to be smart, all that shit. Be polite, but usually every question they ask you, you want to be hitting 3 points. So like, what's good about yourself? I'm reliable, I'm trustworthy, I'm hardworking, boom. Like have your 3 ready. Like they're
Yeah.
easy. They're all bullshit because
Yeah.
it means absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
But have your 3 things ready for each
It just
question.
shows that you've like
Prepped.
gone out your way to prep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's more what they say.
A well important one as well is they're going to ask you at the end of the interview, is there anything for me? Have shit lined up.
Yeah.
And like while you're going for an interview, just be like, clock a few things that questions you might add. Never come to the end and be like, I've got anything for me, because that's where people freeze up and they're like, oh no, like nothing. Always have something at the end to ask them.
Yeah.
Gives them a bit more chat and then be like, always look at their website. Like people that I'd interview and they're like, they don't even know who you are.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's loads of just different techniques, but like for me, I'm good at interviews because I'm relaxed. Like,
Yeah.
I've done so many. I've done it for recruitment. I've spoke to so many people, and I've had so many interviews with people that like just doesn't. It's never fazed me at all. I've never
Yeah.
been bothered about it. Which as all, I've only had a couple, probably out of the hundreds of interviews that I've had and that I've given. I've probably only had 2 or 3 that I've actually not got.
Yeah.
Wow. For whatever.
I think when you've
reasons.
experienced on the other side, of
it's the other side.
Because once you know that
It's all bollocks.
the person, you've googled how to do an interview, the person's probably googled how do I do an interview? as well. So they're sitting there just as nervous
Exactly.
as you are.
Yeah. Sometimes more nervous.
Yeah. And like I say, sometimes it's probably good to research like what they're doing. Do you know what I mean? 'Cause then you can. It's easier for you to find out like the answers through the questions that they're going to ask.
And another thing as well, like you're fucking sitting at the table. They've at some point they've looked at your CV, and they've gone, this guy has got a chance, or this girl's got a chance. Like, so you're there at the table, like that. You're already like.
Your foot's almost
in the door. So now all you got to do is like impress them a bit, and then it's like, just like I guess it's different.
You've got to be their mate. That's the best. Go in there and try and be as good mates with the person. Because if they're going to be working with you, it doesn't matter if you've got you've got all the fucking GCSEs or whatever. Like if you're a knobhead and they don't get along with you, they're not going to want to work with you.
Yeah.
But another thing with me as well is that like good or bad. And again, I said before, it's got me shot. Like I will say yes. So in this interview, he's going through. I'd done a bit of waitering in the army, and like, but it was bullshit. It was like for one night, and it was silver service. So like, he was like, "Have you done waiting before?" I was like, "Yeah, 100%, yeah." And it was like, "Have you done a la carte?" And I didn't know what it meant. And I was like, "I've done to the top level." I didn't know what he meant, and I was I've done like
because you think a la carte, you think that's like fucking the way that it's worded.
Yeah,
it sounds like I've literally lay there naked and someone's ate food off me. That is obviously what a la carte means. It's such a fucking nice word.
I think he's throwing it in as a test to see what, and I was just like, I've done beyond. I've done silver service for the army. It's basically like Queen level, and he was just like, he was like, right,
Queen level,
and he was like, okay. But then I started, and obviously I'd never done waitering. Like I'd met Rach, and Rach is a waitress, so she told me about it.
Yeah,
and she was like, just keep yourself busy. So I just cleaned up everything. But my first night, like. There was a system, so like you call the table away when they're done, like. But I was just cleaning everything up, and then they were like, no one knew what the fuck was going on. But like they were like, no one's called it away, and I was like, it was chaos because I just cleaned everything up. I think they then stopped me on breakfast, and I just did the breakfast shifts from then on. But yeah, it was funny. But like you learn a few things, and so I blagged that one.
Kitchens are funny.
From that blag I got, because I'd actually done a bit of restaurant work then. We then got a job in a place called Monkey Mire. As I was a waiter there, and I figured it out by then. So that was like in Australia, in a dolphin resort.
Right. Yeah.
Natural dolphins come in.
Yeah.
So we did that for like 6 months, that was like, looking back, it was a really cool spot. In Australia. Another one, another bit of a blag. So like I was a mechanic in the army, but I'd worked on just trucks and stuff. You get an AMEC and a BMEC. An AMEC works on tanks and everything. A BMEC works on like Land Rovers, trucks, and I was a BMEC. So like this job come up for the American Army, and it was working, but it was working on tanks and AMEC, and I was like, yeah, it's fine, done it.
Can they not check this?
Mate, they didn't fuck. So then I rocked up, mate.
No one ever you never check anything.
Yeah.
So just take the person's word and fucking hope that they can.
Imagine the nut. Like, I'm going to, so I'm booked in. I'm flying to Germany with my mate. He's the same. He's with me. He's a BMX. Like we've never worked on tanks. We get there, and I'm like,
just a Land Rover with a big gun.
We go into the thing, and mate, you had a wind up thing. I got there, mate, and they're called howitzers. Fucking
I've heard of those.
And he's like, it's like, we've got 8 non-starters. They've just been sitting there, and I was like, right, no dramas. And he was like, me and my mate have been allocated. So I remember we'd gone into, there was a couple of warehouses, and we'd gone into our, and there was like all these bays, and we had access to like loads of soldiers and stuff, so like you could get a bit of info, but they're not mechanics, and they're even worse than us. And so we went through the manuals, so then it's got all these non-starters, so I was like, fucking hell, mate. But I know on tanks, I'd known before, so like basically
get a hammer.
Their engine, it's called a pack.
Right.
And it slots in and out. So everything's like quick adjustable, and they're made so on the battlefield you pull the pack,
Oh, right.
change the pack.
Fucking hell.
Yeah. So like
That is a proper tank.
yeah. So there you go. So like we're working on that.
Jesus.
And the pack is
You've gone
under
from
the. Basically, you bring the gun up, and then there's some like slat on the top. You lift that out, and then you can get a crane in, and then lift the pack out. Once you got all your manuals, so it's not too bad. So, but like luckily, for whatever reason, on all these tanks, the starter motor was fucked on all of them.
Yeah.
So like we ordered these starter motors from all got the guys to help us, got all the packs out, changed all the starter motors, and they were like fucking and it was a really easy job. You just once it's out, you change the starter motor over. And they all started, and they were like, "These guys are like the nuts." And it was just by chance that like my mate had done a starter motor. He'd been working at a cab company, done the starter motor, and he was like, "Yeah," he picked up that was a problem.
Yeah.
So we just said, "Yeah, it's a problem on all of them," and it was. So yeah, they loved us, and like as we went on, we learned some shit about it. A funny thing about that is I didn't know this. So like the guns with inside, they've got a gas system which keeps the long shooting bit, whatever you call that.
Turret.
Yeah.
Type thing,
Well,
yeah.
the turret's on
Is
the
it
top,
a-
whatever that bit is. But the gas system keeps that up. If that is low or not working, it doesn't keep it up. So like we have to do these tests where just like checks and stuff. So we're going around and we're checking it, and you can wind that gun all the way up to the top.
Right.
So
What,
obviously-
90 degrees?
Yeah, it's right to the top. So one of the checks, you got to bring it all the way up and then all the way down. So we're fucking winding it up. And like, normally they just go up, boom, check it, and back down, come. And we're winding one up, and it's coming high. And then like, just things are like starting to like rotate. And then it fucking comes down a bit. I'm like, what the fuck? And then it starts, and then my mate's like trying to grab it.
Trying to grab the
Trying to-
fucking...
That. Trying to grab that.
That is
And
a
then
massive-
we're like, oh, and then it's like, it's fucking, and I'm like, move your hands, like, just let
Yeah,
it
because
go.
yeah.
And then it just goes, and it goes to about that far off the floor. And I was like, we fucking broke a tank. I was like, the gun just fell out. And then so when I've seen the gun there, when it recoils, it's just like, it's really low, and it just looks like a little mini tank with this little gun
Right.
popping out. And we had to go and tell the guy, and even he didn't know what it was. And basically, it was the gas in the system, because they're meant to recoil when they
Yeah.
fire. They recoil, and the gas
Yeah.
does it. But yeah, we thought the gun, but we were trying to hold it at one point, and I was
Fucking
like,
that.
yeah. But in the end,
amazing.
in the end, it's quite good. You're working on them.
It's funny when Dan got the job. He like him and his mate. You had to take tools out, didn't you? Like a set
Yeah,
of tools.
you needed your own
So-
tools.
Right.
Obviously, I didn't have a toolbox because I'm not a mechanic.
Yeah.
So like
Let him for a tank.
Dan and his mate, they got like credit cards and just went to like Halfords and just fucking stocked out on all these like fucking tools. Yeah. And
these all right
and they
for a
come
tank?
home and they're like, they come back home with all their tools and they're like going on. So like, I went straight on fucking like Hotmail and made up like Corporal Smith at hotmail.co.uk, and then like as they left, I just emailed both of them and I was like, right, you fucking pussies, like this is going to be the hardest it's going to be the hardest work of your life.
Yeah.
I
I'm gonna fuck you up when you come out here.
I was like, if you fucking don't do this, I'm gonna,
Oh, you pretended.
And I was like, and if you come out here with those shit fucking Halfords tools that everyone comes out here with, I'm gonna spark you both.
Right.
Went in.
I did
I
not.
sent it right. I forgot about it completely. Right, didn't even tell him. So like him and his mate went out there. They're like, "Who's this fucking Corporal
Right.
Smith?" Right? They're hunting for this geezer out there.
So my mate Ginge is like fucking 19 stone rugby player, like built like a brick shit house. And I told him about it. I was like, mate, they've sent us an email. And he was like, I'm fucking not going. I was like, fuck 'em. I really need the money. Like, we were really having this big debate. We got out there. And I'm just like, everyone's sitting down and looking at like, what's your name, mate?
Because he's Scottish, isn't he? He's like, where's a fucking
And
Corporal Smith?
so we got to know a few, and we're like, mate, for months I was like, when we fucking find this cunt, like, who's it?
And then when they come home, they were like, I'd forgot about it, and they were like, oh yeah, it's just, we was looking for that geezer, like we was worried, and they were like, he's like, yeah,
We were so
Corporal
worried.
Smith. And as soon as he said it, I was like, fucking burst out laughing.
God,
I was like, I did not think you'd fall for that.
Oh, it's amazing.
It was funny. But the thing is that the guy, it was ropey anyway, because like I'd got this from the job centre, and it was like I'd never heard of working for and the guy was like, you have to give us like £400 initially for the accommodation, and we were like, this sounds like, it just felt like a scam.
Yeah.
And my mate on the phone, like I was like, I really needed the money. I was fucking broke. And my mate got on the phone to him and was like, if this is a fucking scam, I'm gonna fucking nut ya. And I was like,
Oh my God.
right. And then the guy phoned me back and he's like, I'm not too sure I should be sending you two out. Like, and I was like, oh, like, it's just, and I was trying to like be middleman.
Yeah.
Because I really, and then we got out. It was so funny.
Fucking
But yeah,
hell.
and then we went out and it was got me into, I mean, from that, I did contract work in Germany 3 times for working on tanks. I worked out in Kuwait with the American Army, and I got another contract in Italy for 6 months.
Oh,
so like
wow.
it's kind of like I'm not sure if they do it anymore, but it's like a loop for like
But the thing is, once you meet people and then other people going somewhere else and they know that you work well, so that's like, similar with like
Yeah.
security as well, isn't it? It's
Yeah,
you
there's
do
like a little
You do a
loop.
good job with a good bunch of lads, and then they're like, "Oh, we're going there. Do you want to come and do a bit of work
Yeah.
there for that weekend?"
Yeah.
And you get in like a little circle.
a little circle. Yeah, you could, and it was good then. Like I was earning £550, £450 a week. Which at the time with the euros, it was about €900
Oh, wow.
a week, and obviously it was cheaper to live. And then so like Kuwait, you would get all your food and accommodation. You get £1,000 a week, and no tax as well in Kuwait.
Wow.
So there's like some of the contracts would pay for your hotel, your food. So there's some really decent contracts. Yeah, no, that's good.
As if you fucking become a tank mechanic.
Yeah, we just became.
And were you good at it by the end?
With
By the end of the
yeah,
contract?
like anything, can it? If you do
Yeah.
it, there's a couple of like ropey bits we had out there where it just didn't have the right tools, and Ginger almost got killed. Like he came very like we were doing a torsion bar on a tank, and we didn't have the right thing, so he was like, jack it up. So we kept getting these jacks, and you basically on the track at the bottom on one of the drop arms that come down, you have to, there's torsion bars which is just metal and it's like pre-torsioned, and you got these drop arms, and he was like, you need to jack that out to pull the torsion bar up. So like you've got to get that drop arm under the pressure of the torsion arm up.
Yeah.
So he's like, jack it up. So we're getting these jacks. The first one we got was like a 5-ton jack, and we're like going, and it's just like it's only about that big. Burst all the seals. So that's 5-ton done. So then, all right, get the 10-ton jack, and then getting this 10-ton, and it's lasting a bit longer, and then that burst, and then we managed to find a 12 or 15-ton jack, and we've got it under, and it's like we're doing. It's really struggling. You can just see. It's weird. Like you can just see it. Like
Can tell it's gonna go.
yeah, you just so then like I was like, mate, it's not worth it. Like if that comes, you're dead. So like Ginge, we got 2 brooms and put sellotape around it, and we managed to be under the tank, and we were jacking it up with like these brooms.
Fuck me.
But Ginger was still under the tank, and I was at the back. And I was like, mate, let's just leave it. He's like, no, we've got to get it done. So I was like, all right, come down here. So we got some like crawler boards, like wood,
Yeah.
to like try and as a barricade, which did nothing. And then that one burst, and luckily instead of coming this way where Ginger was, it shot the other way, and it went about 100 meters. This like 12 ton jack went like flying. If it had come the other way, it'd have gone through him and through me. And then when we told the guys, because the guy running it, again, he was just a blagger. He had no idea how to do it.
Yeah.
So when we told the military, like one of the guys who come down to help us with it, he was like, it's fucking the most stupidest thing I've ever seen. He's like, there's a proper tool that you connect and then you drive it. So you use the power of the tank
Right.
to build it up, and then it's quite easy to do. But yeah, so we're trying to do it with jacks. He was like, you're fucking mental.
Fuck
So
me,
that
man.
was funny. But yeah, there's some funny stories over there.
Yeah.
I just picture the soldiers watching you, just going, "These British man, they got it figured out."
Their soldiers are fucking worse.
Yeah,
Really?
the
they
American
are
soldiers are awful.
awful. Like,
Really?
there was one. So like, we've got signs up everywhere. We're working on it. We're like, don't come near the tank. We're fucking working on it. So then my mate Gingy's under, the tracks. He's between the tracks doing a job and on it, and like you expect no one to come out, and then I just hear like ticking over. I was like, what the fuck? And then it fucking starts up, and Ginger's shouting because he's in between. If it would have been in gear and it would have gone, it would have just fucking crushed. And like, so we jump. Oh, what the fuck are you doing? He's like, I got told to move it. He's like, it's fucking. There's all bits hanging off it. We're like, we're working on it. You fuck it. He's like, oh, sorry, like in his American accent.
Fucking.
And then
hell.
another one, like they were like, they had this crane, and it was full. This had I can't remember, like a tin thing that was just full of tools. Like it was, they packed it full of metal, and then they were trying to lift it, and the crane was struggling. You could see it all. And we were just standing there to watch it, and then it's trying to move it, and it's all, the whole thing's shaking, and then it just burst. It fell on a truck, smashed all the truck up. The crane come off its things. Yeah, they're some generally they're all right, but like some of they're fucking bit crazy. They have like mechanics for like certain things, so they'll have like a light mechanic, or they'll have someone who deals with batteries. They don't have a mechanic who just does the whole lot. So like when we were like, yeah, we do everything, they were like, what do you mean?
Whoa.
Where's your team? We're like, this us.
Yeah.
Like whatever it's wrong with it, we'll just crack on and do it. And yeah, they don't have that.
Fucking
Which is
hell, man.
interesting.
Have you heard of Halfords?
Yeah.
Yeah.
About help us.
It's magical
mate.
place.
They got a fucking.
This is a multi-tool, man.
Yeah.
You can't.
You just know how to use an Allen key.
You can't fucking. You can't do fuck all with
Yeah.
help us toolbox and like. We got a load of snap-on gear when we were out there, and a lot of all their military kit. But yeah, we kind of like put the help us toolbox. Yeah, mate. Yeah. We got all our heavy duty stuff coming.
Fuck's sake. Any more on there? Any more jobs?
Another one. I had my water cooler business.
You had a water cooler business?
Yeah, so I sold
hell.
I sold water coolers and serviced them. So Dad was doing it for a while, and then I did some servicing through Dad through his contacts, and then we set a business up where we'd sell them and install them, and I had contracts to do them. So I had a whole little business running for a while, for about a year I think. Did that, and then when I went to Australia, Dad kind of ran it and then sold it off.
Right.
Yeah, it's another little.
Fucking
another
random.
little, I'll show you. I've got some leaflets somewhere. I'll show you.
Oh, amazing.
There's another.
There's- yeah.
I think we're about 10 down. So
That's it. A
few more to go.
Plenty of
Part 3.
episodes to go. Lozzie, did you or did you not have a little stint in insurance, which
Did.
fascinates me because,
Fascinated me
you know,
for
obviously,
the wrong reasons.
there's no easy way to say this. Insurance companies like to find loopholes, don't they, to get out of paying out. And I'm just intrigued to know what that was like on the other side of the phone call.
It's
Obviously, we won't
Honestly,
mention the
I-
company
I-
or anything.
yeah. I mean, I worked for an insurance company. Starts with an A. That's all I'll say.
ends with an A.
There's several that end with like start and end with an A. So that's all right.
Where are you from?
Don't say that. Yeah, it's quite disheartening to be honest, because you think like, oh, I'm getting insurance because it will cover me in the fact that something goes wrong. Something goes wrong, I'm covered. Like,
Yeah.
I know, like, but the amount of times I'd have to tell someone like, oh, actually, no, looking through your policy based on the scenario, you're not covered. And
Were
then
you,
just
were
like,
you claims?
yeah.
Yeah.
So I was like the first port of call if they crashed or someone hit their car or whatever. I was the first person they contact.
Yeah.
So I was often the last person they contact as well,
Yeah.
because most of the time you're just looking through the policy and you're trying to fucking catch them out. If I'm honest, like
That's
you're double
mad.
checking it and you're just trying to catch people out, even down to like you would ask them like the point of their like. We've been trained to ask them why they were making the journey they were making. Like, what was the purpose of the journey? I was like, why does that matter if they've just had a fucking crash?
Would that be, I'm just thinking off the top of my head, for example, because I know one of the main things when you're getting car insurance, for example, is like, oh, is this for, you know, social and leisure, or is this for work as well? And I'm guessing if you've just put social and leisure, and then you're like,
yeah,
well, I was
okay.
driving to work, and then, well, fuck you then.
Yeah.
Boom.
But then obviously if they say that, they start to get a bit combative because they know they've fucking slipped up.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
But most people will just say, like, if I was in that situation, I was like, why the fuck are you asking me that? I just want to fucking get this done and sorted.
Yeah.
But yeah, it just gets a bit fucking niggly, to be honest. And like I say, it goes even worse than that. They've got obviously rival insurers, and where I was working, you'd have insurers that were labelled like friendly insurers, and other insurers were labelled non-friendly. So there's a particular one that is really big, and the two companies just hate each other.
Is this if like your insured person hits someone and they're insured by them?
Yeah, or vice versa. And the entire process, from what I can gather, is to implement as much cost on the other side as possible.
Really?
Yeah. So like, you got some politics going on. You've got the person who's like been crashed into or crashed into someone
and
else.
then you've got the back politics.
And then you've got the whole arc in like the company against company trying to infringe as much cost on the other.
For the sake of just costing that company money?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Because they're rivals, aren't they?
Yeah, they're just they want them to obviously suffer. If our customers like at fault,
That's mad.
I can
They
imagine
know
like
they're
just
gonna
two people
ruin-
like bumping into each other really small, and then go to this like massive court case.
Yeah.
It's like, you owe her 10 million. We're gonna take you
I
down.
was a fender bender, mate. What the fuck's going on? She's paralysed. No, she's not. Yes, she is.
mentally.
yeah, just,
That's
if you just
fucking
go
great.
in there with a bit of a limp, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just, we can
So
get it.
would it, obviously you're saying like they've just crashed or whatever, and obviously there'd be bad crashes. If they're calling you, are they sometimes like a bit hysterical, or are they? Or
Yeah, there was a couple of them who honestly couldn't even do the call. They had to
Really?
drop the call and just like cool down for a bit or regain their composure or whatever. But there's like several times I've had to call RAC out, obviously because they're on the road
yeah,
and they've crashed.
So Dan turns up.
Yeah.
Green flag.
Yeah.
Green flag.
The green flag, man.
What's that?
Big up RAC.
That's it. The probably the lowest point though, and this like you do have to have like a certain mentality to work and stay in work, especially in claims with insurance, because you're dealing, like I said, with frontline all the time. You're the first contact. There was a particular case where I was really like, I think mentally I just went, nah, this is not for me. This is fucking rank. Basically, one of our customers or one of our insured drivers on a policy had just hit two people on a like a zebra crossing, I think it was.
Oh shit.
They've hit one, and one of them's gone to hospital. I think it was like a teenage girl, and they've also hit a elderly woman. The elderly woman died, and I was the first contact, so I picked up the phone, and they've literally they've said, "Oh, I'm calling up because I've hit like some people on a crossing," and I was expecting them to be like really shaken up, like really a little bit hysterical maybe. Honestly, I've never talked to someone who's like as cool as a cucumber as they were. It's like
Really?
they've hit
Just
someone
killed
recently,
someone.
and they know they've done damage. They might not know they've killed someone, but they just like said like, yeah. So how much is this going to cost? What's
Could
going to
be
happen
shock
from here?
though,
It could have been.
or it could be a psychopath one.
But that's not even the worst part. The worst part is I'd finished the call, passed it to like a higher team who deal with the higher expense claims, and then a member of like team leader come past and just was intrigued as to what the call was, because it was quite a lengthy call. They're always monitoring you, making sure you're actually doing your job, and you've got to get through so many calls a day. So he's come up to me and asked me, what was that about? And I've told him, and he said, "Oh, okay. How old was the person who died?" And I said, "I think they were like 80 odd." And this is what he said verbatim. He said, "Wouldn't have to pay out much for them then." And I was like, I get you've worked here for a long time, and you've probably got that dark sense of humour, or that you just switched off, like mentally or like morally. But for me, I was like, nah. I was the person who took that call. Nah, say that to someone else, all right. But if I'm just imagining that was my relative,
Yeah.
you just said that.
Yeah.
Because you know you haven't got to pay as much because they've got no career anymore.
Yeah.
So you haven't got to pay them for loss of earnings or like help the family out for like so many years worth of earnings.
Yeah.
You just come around and say, "Oh no, we ain't gonna have to pay out as much for that."
That's
all right.
fucking crazy, isn't it?
And I was like,
Yeah.
I'm probably not gonna stay here.
Yeah, I think you definitely have to be a certain type of person to be able to do that job. You can't. I don't think you can be that emotionally switched on, to be honest. To be, to be able to switch off the humanity of the situation and just like think about the figures and shit. Like, fucking.
Do you have to give them if there's a rejection of the claim? Do you ever deal with that on the phone, or is it usually just done by letter? Or
I've had a few times where just basically it's turned out not worth them claiming.
Yeah.
So that is technically they just reject the claim.
Yeah.
I remember there was one particular guy who I felt so bad for. Like he just had all his tools stolen out of the back of his van, and his excess was like, I think he said I asked him how much like worth the tools had been stolen. I think he said like 600 quid. And his excess was like 550.
Yeah. So it wasn't worth
and he
it,
said he just like literally said like, I'm sorry, I'm gonna put the phone down because I'm gonna fucking start swearing at you. And I was like, fair enough.
Yeah.
And it's like, on the one hand you're like, you should check your policy, but the other he's literally just had 600 quid's worth of stuff stolen out of his van.
Yeah.
No one checks their insurance policy.
Mate, I don't. I fucking worked for insurance. Even when I was there, I was like,
I used to sell it. Sell it and underwrite it. I've done both.
Yeah.
Sold it. I was an underwriter.
What's the underwriter, sorry?
So an underwriter is like you got your general selling your policy,
Yeah.
working sales, and then the underwriting bit is when it
like piece it all together, don't you?
Yeah, it's a bit more specialist. So like it's just not. It doesn't fit into the normal sell. You'll have something that's just normal goes through, or if there's something that's come up, it goes to an underwriter and they can make an assessment to add. You can add endorsements on to change it,
right?
Or you can reject it, or there's a few things you can do to make it worthwhile. To underwrite the risk basically. Yeah, that's fucking boring.
The underwriter's just backing up the insurance company that if anything does go wrong, that they're
giving them a bit more cover basically. Like giving the company like an endorsement, but like, you can have the policy, but you might be a flood risk. So like you can have the policy, but we're not pay out on flood.
Yeah.
So it just protects the company. This is home insurance, the high net worth home insurance.
Yeah.
But yeah, fucking
insurance is a interesting game. It's a strange concept as well, isn't it? You pay for insurance in the hope that you never have to use it. Strange product.
I always love that act of God thing as well. It's like
that's
the one that you pay for insurance.
It's
like
if you're struck by lightning.
Yeah, it's like no, sorry, it's an act of God.
Yeah. It's fucking ridiculous.
But that's the thing as well. But with insurance, people generally you think, I'll just get the cheapest. But like there's a fine line between, like say, getting the cheapest one and like if you do come to use it, if it's the cheapest one, all they're going to want to do is get out of it. Whereas you can pay a bit more with a decent company and like one that actually does pay out and it's going to be a smooth process. So like it's a weird, like I say, it's a weird thing. You got it, especially with car insurance because it's mandatory in the UK. You just generally just get the cheapest. But like if you ever come to use it and and it is a shit company. Then you're going to get a shit
usually
service.
Get what you pay for.
Get what you pay for, yeah.
Shout out London Victoria. I was with Hastings, and I had my job down as a company director when I had Hopes Media Limited, and then obviously I realised I didn't need a limited company. I'd just go self-employed. So when it came to renewing in March, I rang Hastings up and I was like, I need to change my job description. They're like, what do you want to change to? I was like, I'm a YouTuber. And he was like, we can't insure you. I was like, what? He's like, we don't have enough data on that job. I was like, okay. I was like, okay, I know this isn't your fault, but that's just blowing my mind. Like, if like YouTuber is like one of the most sought after jobs now. Like, especially if you ask any like teenager what they want to be, 80% of them will say YouTuber, and it's been this way for like the last 5 to 8 years. I don't understand how you don't cover that. and so I had to go with a different provider. But I was like, so how does the insurance work then? And it was actually fascinating. He was like, there's certain jobs that we won't insure. You also struggle to get car insurance if you move into a new estate, because they base all their data off of like the roads and stuff. If the estate hasn't been there long enough, they can't like give you insurance because they can't tell how likely you are to crash and stuff. But I said to him, I was like, mate, the funniest thing is the car that I have, like I use my partner's car like 90% of the time. I literally use my car to go to the gym, right? I work from home. I barely ever lose my house. You're not giving me insurance. I can guarantee you, of all the people you've insured this month, I'm probably, touch wood, the least likely person to have a crash in that car. And he was like, I know, mate, but there's nothing I can do. I was like, that is insane.
I
just couldn't get my head.
You're just trying to get insurance for a quad bike. But that's a car.
Fuck it, that's it. Become a VIP to get that joke.
If he was clever, so when I obviously you want a sale. There's so many ways around stuff that you can just like navigate.
Media company.
Yeah, it's like me, or like even your mileage. Another little tip when you're doing insurance. So if it's done in categories, so like if it's like your category, say 0 to 10,000, and then the next price up, next category will be like 10,001 up to 20,000. So I will be like, how many miles do you do? I'll do 10,000. Okay, I'm just going to put 9,995 because that's roughly the same. Are you okay with that, the degree? And then you're stepping them down a category. Now, if you step someone down enough on like 3 or 4 categories, you can make a price difference of like £100 off the policy, because everything's it's all done on an algorithm. It's all mathematics. So like there's certain things you can change, and you can. There's a couple of tricks you can do. You can let them go through, do their policy, and give them the amount. Yeah, it's probably against the law, and then you can be like, right, I'm just going to change a couple of things, tell them the changes, and then that'll drop it down like £100. And like, do you want to go this price? Like, oh yeah, it was fucking pretty much the same. Yeah, I'm doing 5 miles less.
Yeah,
per year. But anything where there's categories, like have a look at it and just drop it down a touch. So you're not, never put 10,000, put 9,999 or so if you do that on all the things like that, you can bring stuff down. They'll be like, where'd you park? They'll be like, just on the driveway. But they've got a garage, and like, can you use your garage? Like, I can use it. Okay, well,
just put it in there.
We'll put it in the garage.
Yeah, definitely.
If you ever buy a car on finance, though, make sure you put in the actual amount of miles that you think you're going to do, and don't try and do it low. Yeah, because they fuck you over. Because obviously the lower it is, they give you cheaper finance. Which you're trying to, when you're buying the car, you just want it to be as cheap as possible. Yeah. But then like
they get you on the back.
When you go over, when you give the car back and you've gone over, it's like £1 a mile or whatever. I don't know.
Fuck. We've done that one.
Life lessons.
We've done like on Rachel's new car. We said it's like, she don't really drive far. 6,000 miles. Fucking hell, I'll probably do that in a month.
Yeah.
That's for the year.
Yeah, it's fucking mad, isn't it? Fucking hell.
Because I did it with the Mercedes, and then when I was driving up and down from Bournemouth,
top of the miles,
it's an expensive trip.
Yeah. They get you back there.
Fuck's sake. Oh, I was going to talk about my life garden days, and there is a very dark story, but I don't really want to end a podcast on such a low note.
Nah, end it on the other job you had, which was technically,
the drugs mule one. It's not really drugs mule.
The best time of your life.
I'll tell you what, right? I'm gonna frame this life garden story a little bit differently.
Yeah,
I'm gonna frame it.
Do about the.
Well, I could do it without that.
Yeah.
I was going to say all the importance of first aid, but no. I was a lifeguard for 3 years, and there were some, there were times where it was a fucking quality job. Like if it's summer and fucking 17 on a high chair and in the sun all day, as long as you're not getting burnt, it's pretty sweet. Playing pranks on people in the pool and that. There was this one time I noticed this girl like fully like make-upped up, like you're in a swimming pool, and kids would accidentally, not intentionally, like splash her, and she'd like kick off at these kids and that. I reckon she was probably, I don't know, 16-ish. And so she's like going around like she's fucking royalty, right? And that was pissing me off, to be honest. I was like, you're in a swimming pool on a holiday camp. People are just trying to enjoy themselves and you're being a cunt, right? So I just went to my mate. I was like, watch this. She stopped next to like the edge and just like stood there for a bit. And I was rotating. So I was going to a different position and I walked past there and I just fucking like donkey kicked the water backwards and it just fucking smashed into her face. And then I was just like, yeah, there you go. Now fucking complaining about people fucking splashing you. But yeah, it was just
Hasselhoff over here.
yeah, that's it. This is my pool. People are here to have fun, not fucking. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, then there was another time where I was on early, which for the first like hour is like at Haven Holiday Camp is like owner's swim. And someone come over to the high chair and they were like, oh yeah, there's a condom in the pool. I was like, no fucking way. Anyway, so I went and got my manager.
I'll take that out.
I went and got my manager and I was like, apparently there's a condom in the pool. He was like, right, let's go have a look then. So we walked round. We got everyone out of the pool. We walked round. And then me and my manager were just stood there. He was a legend. We were just looking at it. And I looked at him and I just went, that's a fucking hair scrunchie. And he was like, yeah. But do you want the next hour off work paid? And I was like, I would very much like that. And then he was like, yeah, condom, everyone out of the building to go have to fuck it. And so we just fucking until like 9. This is about 7:30ish till 9 when it was like general public entry. We just fucking closed the pool and just chilled for a bit.
What was the holiday place?
Haven.
Oh, it's Haven.
Yeah,
cool,
yeah.
Cool,
yeah. And you know, you had the classic, like, you know, kids would take a shit in the pool and that. The
classic.
But the thing was that, right, so the rule is if you get to the shit before it disperses, you can keep people in there, but as soon as it disperses, you know, you got to sort of cycle the water out. If someone's sick in there, you got to cycle the water out. I was once cleaning the changing rooms, right?
The classic.
And this is another poo bit. I was cleaning the changing rooms, opened up the cubicle, and I was like, that's a little small nugget of poo. Okay, well, I'm going to go get the gloves. Blah blah blah. All right, I went and got the gloves.
Classic.
Yeah, cleaned it up.
Where's that used condom?
So I tied it up, came out, looked at the floor a bit like clearer, and basically from a cubicle all the way to the shower, there was just nuggets, just nuggets of poo.
It's like, oh, piece of candy.
Literally, it was like that. Those nuggets of poo.
What was at the end of the trial?
Yeah, a fucking 3-year-old fucking shitting himself. But yeah, so there were that was
All classic moments.
yeah, it's a bit of classic lifeguard, isn't it? But yeah, no, it was a cool job. It did get boring. I must admit, like when I first got the job, I was like, oh, I'm gonna be that fucking legend that like lets everyone dive and shit.
Yeah.
The thing is, you know, obviously if they hit their head on the bottom of the pool or whatever, but also you get so bored, you want to do something.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, I can do something. I can tell someone off. No diving, mate. You know what I mean? But what we also came to learn is, you know, like no running on the pool, alongside the pool. This is horrible, but the best part about people that run, right? Kids more specifically, this sounds really bad because it involves them hurting themselves, but so they're sprinting, yeah. Now if you just wait for them to stop, then tell them off, right? But if you fucking blast your whistle, stop it, they try to stop, and then they're like fuck over, and they're like smell like it's like, hey, wake up! You realise you're like paralysed a child. But yeah, so there's that as well. But also, you know, when some people hit the head or whatever, I came out once to do first aid because I was whistled through, and there was blood fucking everywhere, all down this kid's back. And I was like, oh my God, I watched it. He's like, oh shit, right? It was the smallest cut. It's because of the water. Just fucking spread all the blood, but it was the smallest cut. But yeah, but there were some cool times. I also did like sports coaching and stuff on there as well. You take the kids to do archery and shit like that, which was good fun.
You always hated the lifeguards as a kid, though, didn't you? It's just like,
they're like the enemies.
Yeah, I remember like we went to like it was like a really cheap caravan site, and they had like an indoor swimming pool in there.
Yeah.
But it was such a cheap caravan site, they didn't have a lifeguard.
Yeah.
And it was kind of like it was like if you take your kids in there, make sure that your parents come in. But like, parents didn't come in; they just let us go in there.
Yeah.
And fucking mate, like we were getting all the chairs stacked, jumping on shit. Like, best day of my life. Best day of my life. Like when you're set free in a fucking swimming pool.
Yeah.
There's some great without lifeguards.
There was,
but then it's when you, we were like back flipping off like. You know, like when the white chairs stack.
Yeah,
they start high. They start go quite high, quite quick, and we were like fucking back flipping off there. It was crazy. No. So it was really dangerous, but it shows why the lifeguards are supposed to be there.
Yeah. There was on I want to say Monday night. There was like big inflate, like almost like Total Wipeout. They put a fucking huge inflatable in the pool. Yeah. But so you had like the holiday makers had the first half an hour, and then the second half an hour was for owners. Now, the owners' kids, and because like the owners would come most weekends and stuff, you got to know them and stuff. You got to know the kids and that. There was quality because what we'd do, basically, because we knew the parents, knew the kids. In that second half an hour, like the lifeguards would I'm talking like fucking dump tackle these kids off and like fucking like in 300 where I was like this is Sparta, like fucking honestly, but we were fucking brutal, and every now and then a kid would like himself like, oh shit, you're right, and then like they wouldn't cry and then it would be okay. But yeah, that was so fun. You used to absolutely batter them. And then I remember in the final season, I was there for 3 seasons, health and safety kind of came in and ruined it. They're like, well, you can stand at the side and hose them. It's like, I literally choke slammed children off of this last year. Like,
don't want to hose them.
See that kid? A drop kicked him.
Yeah, the one in the wheelchair. That's why he's in it.
Season 1, I pissed on that kid.
Now I'll just throw him in with a wheelchair.
I hosed him with piss, mate.
But
the water when you say, well, if someone does a shit, does it recycle the same water or does it empty and put new water in?
It goes through like the chlorine and shit and cleans it.
But it's still the same
essentially,
water.
It's pretty much There's a trickle. There's like that keeps it level of new water, but it costs thousands to fully drain and refill a pool. But yeah,
so that's like my little jacuzzi thing I bought. It's a fucking jacuzzi, you called it?
The spa
hot tub. Yeah. So it's an all right one, but it's not a proper decent one. But you have to you fill it up and you put chlorine in it and stuff. But then I was just thinking about swimming pools. I was like, what happens if you get shit in it?
Yeah, it's
not. I think
if shit in your hot tub.
No one's shit in my hot tub.
Yeah.
I did once now.
But now, if you got like a dispersed shit, you're talking about 3 hours.
Really?
So thing,
You're crossing your fingers for a bit of shit then.
Oh mate, honestly, there was all sorts of things.
And what do you do with it? Where do you put the shit? Do you just put it in a normal bin, or do you have to put it in like a special bin?
You sort of scoop it out and that, and
goes off for
you must have had sick or diarrhea.
Yeah.
And then you just everyone out.
That's it. Yeah. That's it. You're done. Your afternoon's
and
over,
you
guys.
just fucking 3 hours.
Yeah, just like you just do lots of cleaning and stuff, which is pretty. Yeah. But there was all sorts of shit that went on. Really weird, right? Obviously, this is probably really lame, but it's just in park politics, right? There, Blue Roll, yeah. So you'd have the swimming pool, you'd have the restaurant, you'd have the entertainment side, and there was just a shortage of Blue Roll. And I remember one time I got in an argument with the manager of the restaurant because this kid smashed his head. So I ran next door to get blue roll to put ice in.
Yeah.
And she refused to give me blue roll because it was like, oh no, we buy it for here. We don't buy it for you guys next time. Like a kid's brain is fucking seeping out on the floor. Can you just give me the fucking blue roll, please? But yeah.
Well, fucking pay it back, shit.
He's having a fucking lobotomy next door. Give me the fucking blue roll.
I need it. But
James's daughter.
James get on. Yeah, fucking yeah. And then there was
Jasmina.
not it's just reminded me because of like leisure centres and that. But when I was a PT and stuff at the gym, there was this guy that would come every 2 weeks, and he looked like a proper fucking gremlin, right? He's like a little swan, like he was, and his job, right? His job every fortnight was to come in and take the tampon bin from the women's.
Nice.
But the fact that he was like such a, you know what I mean?
No.
He could be a fucking crypto
Did he
freak
make
sometimes.
those-
Oh, mate.
It's
You've
like-
just reminded me of it. Not me, but my mate. A little tampon story.
Oh,
Oh god.
There's like,
By the way, tampons will also get a pull close.
yeah.
Anyway,
No, it was cleaning the tampon thing.
yeah.
So basically, it was a thing called the Boat. I don't know if it's still there in Newcastle. It was a nightclub
Yeah.
on a boat, and it was a
Oh, wow.
fucking shithole.
Oh right.
Like,
Sounded nice.
it sounds nice, but it's fucking disgusting.
Tampons everywhere.
Yeah.
But anyway, so he had his first shift on there, and he had the same thing. They were like, he's doing his work and that, and they're like, can you go and clean the tampon machine? No, he'd never done this before.
Oh,
So is
is that it?
Yeah.
Fucking hell, the tuxedo
Yeah,
royale.
that's it. Yeah, mate.
Fucking
So they imagine the
We won't find that in Ozark.
tampons in there. So never did it before. He was
where's
like,
that?
it's in Newcastle. It's a club. It's a
Fucking
nightclub,
hell.
mate. It
Actually,
is.
For the audio
Not anymore,
listeners,
not
it is
anymore.
the
Not anymore.
grimmest fucking boat I've ever seen.
It was went up in flames.
Oh, mate, I think I went there once. The carpets, like everything stunk. Like it was.
Mate.
Someone set
I went
fire
there
to the
once.
tampon.
I
it was
want to
like-
see. I love boats, and this is my dream.
Mate, look at it. Look at it. I mean,
It looks like
Grimy
it's-
as fuck.
Honestly,
Nah, look.
Oh, yeah, on the night it looks the bollocks.
oh,
Big
a few
Carlsberg
beers
branding.
down, yeah, with look at the light
Yeah,
shining.
That's a
up.
function room down there.
So yeah, anyway, he
Right,
was
the tampons.
cleaning. He stripped it down,
Yeah.
pulled the box out, and was cleaning it all inside and wiping it all down, and like spent like an hour cleaning this tampon machine. And then when the manager come over, he's like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "When I said I just meant pull the box out and empty it out."
Oh.
But he'd fucking cleaned it all down. He'd like emptied it and wiped it all, and like just really, he didn't realise he could just like pull the bit out and just do it and then put it back.
the
Yeah, so
menstruation everywhere.
Fucking hell, man.
he spent a good hour giving it a good clean. Fair play.
Jesus Christ, never been clean so well cleaned since.
Yeah, I mean, the boat was like, whoa. Yeah, it stood out on the boat.
Yeah. People would just go and see the fucking tampon bin.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Fucking hell, that's clean.
Is that where you get the tuxedos? Nope.
Sorry to jump in.
No, it's cool. Yeah, no, he's
Cut me
just a
off.
little gremlin man. No, I remember he just came in once and I was just sat there bored on reception. No one was in. And he was like, cool, your job looks boring. And I just thought, in my head, I was like, your job is collecting fucking tampons. Like, of all the people to have a pot.
He fucking
It would
loved it.
fuck.
You're the gremlin.
Yeah, I would fucking be sat here for the rest of my life over doing one day in your job. Like, you know, like fucking hell.
Yeah.
As bad as that is someone's job, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, that's like at the
To
download.
connect.
There was a guy who used to come in. It's like a big sort of just a massive container with like a big tube on it, and his job would literally be
Not to siphon the shit.
just to put the thing in the
Yeah.
thing and just siphon all the shit into the van. But it's funny. He come up to the gate, and I was just
Did he smell?
didn't know what it was, and he pulled up to the gate. And Dad was like, "Don't let him in." And I was like, "Why is that?" And he was like, "He's full of shit." Just drove off. And I was like, "What are you here for?" He's like, "I collect shit." I was like, "Oh."
Have you seen that?
Legendary joke.
Yeah. Have you seen that? There's a clip on YouTube, and it's like I think it's like India or somewhere. It's a huge blocked drain, full. It's full of shit, and it's like this guy's got to go in
Oh.
and unblock it, and he's like a makeshift kit, and it's just little. He basically goes in it, fully submerged under in it, and you can just see like these weird bubbles. Coming up.
He's submerged in shit.
Fully.
I don't know if that's it, but
That's enough, though.
Dirty
Dirty cunt.
similar. They've got like a tube to
mate,
breathe.
look at this guy smoking a grit in there.
The fumes are
Gotta make the most.
Turns out he's just on that boat nightclub.
Yeah.
It's like
Where'd you say it's
little turd.
But yeah, fuck, I tell you what, I don't think I could be paid to go into, to go head under
Yeah.
in. That's not even, I don't even think that's like shitty water. I think that is just liquid shit.
Yeah.
That is just, we don't even pronounce right,
Yeah,
Ben.
we've seen enough.
We've seen it.
Ben,
No, I'm not.
Ben just loves Googling
Yeah,
that.
could-
a scatfish.
I could be paid.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What's your price? Genuinely, what's your lowest to do?
What, so
what are we saying? A
let's-
day shift, or are we
No,
just
like
saying?
daily for a year.
Oh,
You
fuck
gotta
it!
get
So
in there.
salary
Yeah. So I'm talking like, how much are you going to get paid just to do it for a year?
for a year, man.
I don't think I could.
Nah, that's
Do you know what? Because
40
saying
hours,
it now,
5 days a week.
like, but the smell of
Yeah.
the shit.
and you probably get all. I mean, if you got a little cut, don't want to go in there. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
but on cut days, you have to. This is just going in. Like, you're not going to die. You just got to get in there, do the shit. Got to go down, get the blockage out.
Yeah.
You got to sort it out.
Yeah.
For 1 year, there's got to be a price.
Could you take
If I said to you, look, at the end,
Surely.
at the end of the year, at the end of the
it'd
year,
have to be.
what about like a?
I'd have to go 20 mil.
Yeah.
20 mil.
But I could
was
probably
gonna say 100
negotiate. I could,
Ben.
fucking no chance. mate. No chance.
Ben.
Well,
Did-
500
I
grand.
could shit and piss whilst I'm in there.
$1 million.
You won't need toilet breaks.
A million.
$1 million's the year salary.
Yeah.
If I was given the proper equipment,
This is what I'm saying.
yeah.
Yeah. You get like goggles and
If you got to pay a guy $1 million, just make something that could just do it for you. A stick would probably work, wouldn't it? A good little prop.
800 grand. See, I'm going to bring it down to.
Oh, you're competing now.
Yeah.
You do it for 800 grand.
Yeah.
Would you do it for 600 grand?
I wouldn't go under 500.
490.
495 and you got to do it.
Yeah, but you need to remember your day job.
Fuck it, I just wouldn't do it.
Yeah, your day job is
but that's
going
fine.
20 mil.
Yeah, but you're
to
getting
not
paid
fuck it.
like 35 grand a month or 40 grand a month. Yeah.
That's
Tax free.
tax free.
Cash.
You're shoveling off shit.
And you're getting
so
paid
you don't
month-
have to deal with
You're
the
getting
shit.
paid monthly, so like obviously the first month's going to be the worst because it's shit.
Yeah,
But then when your first wage comes in,
yeah.
That's it, yeah.
You'll be
You're rolling in it.
yeah,
Literally.
Yeah, you probably
Yeah.
would make it feel a bit
you'll
better.
be
wouldn't
you'll be submerged in shit throughout the day,
And you're going to get holiday.
but on the
it?
evening,
Holiday pay.
It
you'll be
depends
submerged in
on.
drugs.
It depends on how.
Shit jokes.
Like, I'd want to do a day shift for like. Give me a day shift as a tester for like 10 grand.
Yeah.
No, mate. No. 20.
You gotta
Give me 20
Do a
grand.
day shadowing.
I'll test it out for a day for 50 grand. And then we'll. And then
You
we'll have
wouldn't
a
test
chat.
it out for a day for 10 grand.
I was going to say that's a third of my fucking
Depends.
monthly
It
wage.
depends.
This is what I'm saying. When money like for 10 grand
I
just to go.
wouldn't. I'd have to.
I was waiting for Bitcoin to go
What I'd
back
have to
up.
do, I'd have to assess it. Like, is it dangerous? Is it like, could I get trapped? Yeah, like, is it for
Nothing's
think
going to
the
happen. That's what I'm
pathogens
saying.
in the
Nothing's
shit'll
going to
kill you.
happen. You're going to get through to the end.
It's
of
totally
it.
safe.
It's totally safe.
not
You
gonna
just
go
got,
blind.
Nothing's going to pour.
just got to get in shit.
But and it's the smell. It's
Yeah,
got
it's
like.
going to stink. It's going to smell.
Yeah,
you
you
are
can
going
get
to
washed down.
vomit. It's
It's gonna
gonna
be
be
hard.
What as I've got older.
all I'm
gonna be
thinking is
arse.
right after day 5.
go for a
do you
car
just
wash.
get numb to it? You know, do you just you're like right? It's just shit.
I reckon it
It's-
seeps into your skin.
I reckon you need to
None of
shave
this happens. None
hair
of this
off
happens.
everywhere.
It's fine.
Shave your head, bald, eyebrows, everything off, and then you can hose yourself down easier. Because it'll get stuck in your hair, wouldn't it? So
My tolerance
Oh,
completely
shit.
getting older. Is just, for instance, the other day, some guy was fucking about with a car. It must have been changing something in the battery, but the alarm kept going off, intermittent. So it would go doo-doo-doo, and it'd be on for like a minute, and then it would stop. And I was like, I can do this. I can just, I could hear it. It wasn't really loud, but it was loud enough. It kept, I lasted an hour. I was like, fuck this, I'm late, and I left my office. And I was like, I couldn't deal with it.
Yeah.
I was like, I've had enough.
That's what I was. I went on a ferry the other day, and I didn't realise that obviously the car alarms just go off when you're upstairs. The car alarms just go off all the time, and I was like, I couldn't do that job. I wouldn't be able to just be down there. Like, say you have to be down there. I suppose you get some headphones, but.
No,
annoying.
my tolerance for stuff.
But shit, like I say, for a mil, probably wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it for a year, but
I was thinking one day.
It'd have to be for me. I'd have to assess it, check it all out, and then but it'd have to be so life changing.
When I was younger, I think I would have took that job for a standard £8 an hour.
I was begging.
Jesus Christ.
I would. I'd have done anything for a job.
I was begging to go to Kuwait with a contract company. It was $2,500 a week, and I was like, "Please get me on it." And it was so fucking dodgy. It was like you weren't even on the camp. You were it's like on a hub. You just go with a little unit and you got to fix their shit. It was so dangerous.
Fucking hell.
Like literally, really dangerous. And as a civilian, you got no weapons yourself.
Yeah.
So you rely, and it wasn't even with the British or American armies. With I think it was to do with NATO or something. But my mate went on it, a Scottish lad, and he earned a load of money. But he was like, man, we were in the middle of nowhere. Like he said, there's some hairy times.
Fucking hell, man.
But I was like, I was really trying to get on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I fucking wouldn't do that now, but especially with no weapon.
I reckon one day only, 9 to 5, 50 grand in cash in a briefcase in front of me. I reckon I'd say yes.
Yeah, that's if you put it in a briefcase and you see the money in front of you. Because I do like the luck of money.
Oh, as soon as people get cash out, it's game
as soon as you start, you can say numbers, but as soon as you show it,
£500 in cash. It looks a lot.
£5 notes.
It looks a lot more than what it does on a bank account or whatever.
A couple, mate.
I had about 90 quid from just birthday money from birthday cards in a drawer. There's only 90 quid, but like I say, I was like, oh, that looks quite good.
Now cash. Cash is there's something nice.
The car boot days.
Yeah. Mate.
Amazing.
Car boot.
As soon as you
money.
whip out, you start whipping out some £10 notes in front of people at a car boot. They're like,
Jesus.
Take my wife, mate.
The thing is, car boot money you've got times it by 10. So you got 500 quid in your back burner on a car boot. You're walking around like you're balling.
Yeah, take 500 quid in £5 notes to a car boot.
I could literally buy this car boot.
Yeah. You probably could. But just go round. You just feel like the king.
Mate, you're top dog.
Yeah.
I'm going to do it, actually.
I think we should do it. We should do it.
It's car boot day.
Do it, yeah. We went and camped on £100 budget. We're gonna flip it, and we're gonna have a grand budget each at a car boot, just so be absolute dons.
I do want to do.
I do want to get into the car boot thing.
Let's do a car boot.
I want to do it.
Let's film it with Atma.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Let's do it. I've got plenty of shit I could sell.
Oh, you're selling?
Well,
we
can set
wanna
up an Atma car boot. Okay.
I want to buy.
I want to buy.
Why don't we set
Sell
up
on
a stall?
eBay.
that's
I wanna
like
buy
the
and sell.
base?
On
we can have
eBay
an
or
Atma
on-
stall, which is the base, and we sell merch there, and then all of you just go off.
Oh, I think we go in, set up our base,
Yeah.
and then we each have half an hour to go off and grab some bits and
then we sell it on.
Whoever makes
resell it.
Makes the most money.
Is there any gentleman's agreement? Etiquette? Is it? No. Do you know what I mean? You buy from the store next door for
fuck
£5
it, I'll
and then
steal.
and then just
I have done that at a car boot.
Yeah,
I've bought.
I used to know people who'd done that as their living.
Yeah.
I always used to buy stuff off them because I know that they would cut out all the.
Yeah.
Yeah, they would.
If you buy bulk,
they
as
would
well.
go around hunting for all the shit, and then you just buy it off them for a little bit more.
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
Fucking beautiful.
Or I've had someone come to the stand with something, and you're like, you know how much it is, and you're like, all right, mate, you're like, how much was that? And then they tell, obviously, car boot, and you tell them.
I've
you buy it off them.
I've bought something off someone who's bought something.
Yeah, so
Really?
Seen them,
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen them. There's these motorbike boots, and this guy bought them, and because I used to like hunt around for like certain things like footwear and motorbike boots was like one of my.
Holy
If I
grail.
see, if I saw a pair of them because they're like 200 quid, even
Yeah.
used, they're like 200 quid. So, and this geezer, he had a pair of, they're called Siddy motorbike boots, and they were
I
like
know the ones.
they were like brand new in the box, and he was just walking off with them, and I just had to ask him. I was
Yeah.
like, mate, how much did you pay for them? He was like, 25 quid. And I was like, bastard. So I'll give you 50 quid for them now. Double your money. He's like, all right. And yeah, bought them off him. Sold them for
Nice.
like 200 quid.
Nice. That's a fucking way.
I've still got to think if at a car boot, if I see an old console on Mega Drive or Snap, mate, it just fucking it does something inside me. It flicks on the style of switch, and I have to buy it.
Do you know what
Yeah.
though? It was we was in prime spot
yeah,
back
there's
then
a lot of
because
it,
like
yeah.
we
It's
could have
money.
got we could
Yeah.
if we'd have just carried on doing that, we'd be billionaires.
Oh yeah, no, we'll definitely have to do that. That'd be sick.
Yeah.
That'd be sick. Right. I think that's enough jobs for one day. Plenty of jobs there, plenty of experiences, plenty of life stories. Learn from our mistakes, guys. don't repeat them. But yeah, guys, thank you as always. Everyone at home, let us know down below. What's your dream job? We want to read them. All right. We'll see you very soon. Become a member and all that good jazz up the app, man.
Love you, mate.